YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. What is it that we have here today? It doesn't look very radio controlled to me. And I have a helmet on, which tells you it's dangerous. So guys, this is from Kaabo, and it is an amazing scooter, huge. We know you guys love when we bring you electric scooters. By the way, check out the clearance under this thing. It's huge. You could put a skyscraper under this thing. It's amazing. I could probably crawl under there. There's lots of ground clearance. Yes, you can roll it down the stairs, which is amazing, and I love that. Now, you're not gonna see me riding it down the stairs, and you're not gonna see me riding it off-road because it's probably just a little bit too soupy, and these are on-road tires, and it's for good reason, because this sucker goes 55 miles an hour with me on it, which is crazy. Now, why do we know how fast it goes already? You're like, I thought this was a virgin-made run. Well, actually, that was in the dark, and you'll see it in the Unbox build radio setup, which is to follow. And yes, you're probably thinking radio setup and build. Yeah, there was a little bit of build, hardly any. It was very little, minuscule. The thing sets up, it can be folded, and we'll show you how it unfolds from the packaging. Beautiful, huge kickstand, works really nice. We found our PSI to be very happy at about 32 to 33 PSI. We tried all the way up to 40, and it came full. We didn't have to mess with it. They were about 31, 32 when we got it. We felt like 33 gave us just a little bit more protection. You know, and the roll felt a little bit more solid. Also, I put this on the other side. It's supposed to actually be on the front, but this is a really nice little box bag thingy that you can put some stuff in. It does open up a little bit more, but just for the sake of time, we'll show you that. I love that there's a little container for stuff. It seems like not a big deal, but it is kind of a big deal. There's like nowhere to hold stuff on scooters. You're gonna find that out when you get one. You gotta put it in your pockets or in your belt or something like that. And I go out and work our fences with these things because we have big property. So that being said, two 1200 watt electric motors, regenerative braking, ABS, meaning you'll hear that when we're driving. You can turn that off. You can change the intensity. It's all in the P settings. We'll show you in the unbox how that's done, and we'll show you the actual settings. This is the Wolf Warrior 11. Yep. Okay? Not 2. Sometimes it shows up as 2, like II. It's actually 11, like 1 bigger than 10, okay? On the front, we have a horn. We have 2 very bright lights, and I'm gonna show you a feature that is huge, huge, okay? This goes up, this goes down, this goes left and right. You can actually point the thing down the road. And by the way, with confidence, at speed, this thing holds you tight, okay? You're gonna want it when you're going 60. They only claim 50. This is the first E-something that we've gotten that went faster than they recommended it would go. That is good. We like that. Do that more, e-bike people. Okay, so it's currently off. Let's show them over here. Very good hydraulic disc brakes, front and back, with regenerative electronics. That means you can stop from that stop sign warning to our intersection to turn from at least 44 miles an hour with a tailwind, with a 300-pound guy on there. I am 300 plus pounds right now. And as you can see, the thing is not phased by me, and it will run just fine. I also had about a 190-pound dude, 200-pound dude riding. No problems. He had a great time. He got it to 52, and then I was challenged to get it to 55. So without more further ado, we're gonna turn this on by pressing the power button. It comes on, I still have my protective screen. Now you may notice a little howl. It's these things howl in the wind, okay? We're on speed 3. This little button changes the gear. We're at 100%. Oh, by the way, after 2 hours of riding, me and my friend back and forth just kind of trading off, we had about, I think it was like 65% worth of battery charge left. And I don't know if this is the odometer, but I'm just gonna mention, we had mileage on it when we got it. Okay, so the factory did not reset it when they did their factory testing. So I'm not sure why that is. But our other scooter, we have about 150 miles on it, which is a lot of miles. If you think about, we're just basically riding on these 2 roads here and then up a bike path that is close. So without further ado, we're gonna drive. Very strong brakes. Yes, you can lock up the brakes even with the ABS, so be careful. Secondly, this will go off-road, but I'm not gonna recommend you get too crazy off-road because the suspension is very stiff, okay? If I did that on my other one, it would go all the way to the ground, okay? So this thing is amazing. Loud horn, I like that. Light switch right here turns this on and off. You wanna show them? On, off.
Flashing, off, yep, on.
High, low, flash, and off. So it's like a, then down here you got a button next to your dual charging ports. I did find that this beam gets in the way a little bit. You press on, blue lights come on, and front facing lights. This one was not working when we first got it. I fixed it, and I'll show you how by getting access to 7 screws and pulling this up, and I noticed one connector was disconnected. Found it. It was probably a half an hour procedure, mostly because I had to find the screws. Also, I undid 4 screws that I didn't need to, and so watch that part of the build if you're curious on how to fix that if you had one that came. It's super easy. If I would have known what screws, it would have taken me probably 15 minutes. Okay, so no big deal. Also, Eco Turbo. When you're in Eco mode versus Turbo mode, you will get better mileage in Eco than you will in Turbo, but Turbo is what you're gonna use, okay? Single and dual, obviously that's self-explanatory. You're gonna have 1 motor versus 2. If you go to Eco and you go to single, you will not spin the wheels when you start. If you're in normal mode, like crazy, all the time mode on speed 3, like I do all the time, you'll spin the wheels. You can change those settings, guys, okay? So just like the other ones, this controller lets you in. There is a backlight on the screen, by the way, full disclosure. It does great in the dark, and it does good in the sun. Yep. So we're in great shape. It meets all of our demands. Also, it has a pull throttle. Be aware, when you get sucked back like this, and you will, even if you're 3 hundo, you're gonna be pulling the throttle more. So make sure you cover your brake while you're standing over this until you get totally used to it. So without further ado, we're gonna drive, and then I'll give you a ride on. Here we go. Like I said, spins the wheels every time, guys.
It is windy today, and with him riding, we're gonna have lots of wind noise.
Don't know if you can hear me, but we're going 20 miles an hour already.
So he's 20 there. I don't know where his mic is gonna drop off. I'm gonna walk down to the end of the driveway so you can see how fast he's going when he comes back before we switch, and he'll take you along for a ride and you can see his speed. So he's gonna go up to the cemetery. Up there where he is about where our pavement stops. So he'll turn around and come back, and we'll give you a couple of passes just so you can see how it runs.
So we're probably coming back into mic range. We're going 40.
40.
That was from 40 to a totally comfortable stop. And there was a car coming down the road, so I wanted to yield the right of way. But as you can see, this thing cruises, and the wind is going in a vector like this. So what's gonna happen is you'll go slower in the wind, and you'll go very fast with the wind. So what I'm gonna do is I'll drive back that way. I'm gonna try to give you as much audio feedback as possible. I'll yell it out. Camera crew is gonna repeat it, okay? So I can see the speed limit or the speedometer, and we're gonna tell you what we get as we go by. So we might pause. Now, we'll just go ahead and run it out. Okay. So I'll show you, you can give a little bit of throttle, but it's very hard to keep that front wheel from spinning. So lean your body into it.
So he's gonna run up to the corner, then he'll come back. So I think he'll probably give me some speeds as he's coming back, so I'll try and repeat those for you guys so you can see.
Okay, here goes nothing, guys. 20.
20.
30.
30.
40.
40.
46, 47, 48.
Goodness gracious.
48.
47, 48, 49. And he is going uphill now, and he is really kind of crosswind if you can look and see our windsock, or if you can see, let me zoom, you obviously won't be able to see him, but you can see the flag up there. That's where the cemetery is, and it is really whipping today. So he's kind of fighting the crosswind with his speed. So he should be coming. There he is around the corner.
Okay, so we're going 44, 43, and slowing down. Slower this time because I didn't want to lock up the back wheel. Guys, my face hurts because it's so cold right now, but I hope you could hear that. That's the braking, okay? When you have that ABS setting on, see, I've got tears of joy. This thing is amazing, guys. It does everything it says it's gonna do, and it does a great job of it. Now, I'm gonna tell you, when we went 55, the wind was whipping this bad, like 30-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
So I had 30 miles an hour helping me, and it was so cool because you're going 30 and you couldn't hear anything. It was just like calm, like, hey, I can hear myself think. When you're going 50 and you're going into wind like that, you got 70, 80, 85 miles an hour of wind in your face. This helmet works really nice, but it doesn't work great because there's no face shield. So I'm gonna tell you, if you decide to ride this in traffic, first of all, get yourself a face shield, get a real helmet that's designed for riding a motorcycle. Okay, I have one for PPG with a flip up face. It works really nice. We'll link to it. But this one here was sent for review and I love it. It is so much lighter. It's so much easier, but it's also only rated for 28 miles per hour. So just keep in mind, even though this is great and it's a lot better than nothing, it's not gonna do the full justice that this Kaabo needs, because this thing is basically a motorcycle, okay? It's very fast. It flies, or it doesn't fly very good. It drives very good.
Yeah.
Okay, camera crescent point.
The lights on your helmet too. You can't see them right now, but the lights are super nice.
There's a button back here. You press it once, it turns on, and it's got an oscillating light on the back. You press it again, and it goes to solid red, solid white, and then you press it again, and it goes to some other sequence. We do show that
in the night ride.
This helmet also has a super nice magnetic detach, which is really, really nice, because basically when you're doing PPG, I need to be able to look up and see the strings and see how they go up. It's called the lines. I need to be able to see the lines going to the wing. And on my other helmet, I have so much more bulk and it doesn't fit my head right. So even though it's sized right, this one fits so much more comfortable, I can barely tell it's on there. So really what I want is I want one of these for work as a hard hat. It'd be nice. But I can look up, I can see the lines, I can make adjustments, I can go past center and see up. With my motorcycle helmet, I can't do that because there's just so much bulk. It's 1.5 inches out. Now that's a real helmet with audio system and everything. This thing just has that. It also charges on USB-C. That being said, amazing performance, everything I wanted and more. You do have to shift your body weight forward to try to minimize the front spinning wheel, or launch without it if you're into being lame. Because here's the thing, guys, if you're getting something like this and it's your first electric scooter, you're gonna be scared to death the first time you ride it. Don't be, you'll be fine. It's actually very solid. My kid has ridden it, my friend's ridden it, the camera crew has not yet.
Nope. She's
too chicken for it. And don't be scared of high speed. You don't have to go full speed all the time, even though I do every time I get a chance.
Yes.
Also, the off-road characteristics are gonna be a lot stiffer on this than others that we have reviewed. You may not want it to be so stiff when you're off-road, because when you're stiff off-road, that means you're gonna be more likely to flip, okay? Now, I also have to say it is very heavy, 100 plus pounds, okay? So I'll kick this, and when I wanna go between the cars in my garage, I'll bring it up like this and walk it out like this, because I park it forward so I can charge it. And then I just basically walk it back, and then I turn the handlebars. Now, you'll notice the handlebars don't turn all the way, okay? They're locked, okay? So what I do is I basically have to get it to the right height, and then I have a Chevy Silverado sits like this, and then I have a Traverse that sits, way over, so I got tons of room. And it works out fine, but I only have like this much room between the two vehicles. So you may have the same exact conflict. Now, the other thing is, this thing sits so high that you can nest it next to the pedals on a bicycle, which is really nice, and it's just one of those unforeseen qualities. Ooh, another tip. When you're riding, this is rock solid and you can definitely put your foot back here. If you didn't know that, it's gonna be a game changer for you, because that G-force that you get from starting, and you're like, whatever, Brian, it cannot be that, you'll fall off. I'm dead serious. It's so strong. You're hanging onto those bars, and this is so sturdy. You'll be amazed. Now, with that comes the trade-off of weight, okay? With weight comes strength. Okay? And that's the big trade-off. So in order to fold this, all you have to do is pull the safety pin, pull this safety pin, you press right here, and then it comes out, okay? I'm not even gonna do it now. And then this thing comes up and it's allowed to fold. It's a very easy process. I'm not doing it right now because I wanna ride it some more right now for you. Also, this thing is heavier. What else does that do? That keeps you on the ground. It's a big deal. You hit that little bump there, I always like to air it. But the thing is, you don't want to air it and get hurt because you lose traction. These things are incredibly eager. And also, when you have an eager motor, what happens when your wheel lifts is it spins. Then when you engage the ground, you have to rematch the speed, okay? So just be aware, if you know you're gonna catch a little air, you better get out of the throttle. So really, really, really happy with this thing so far. It is beautiful. It looks amazing. It does the job. I thought it looked a little bit stout, but that's just because the handlebars are so big and strong. Really tall. Okay? So definitely you need to consider one. If you haven't considered one yet, this thing will definitely get the job done for you. It's gonna go faster than you think. It's gonna get you where you wanna go, and it's got a big battery. We actually show the battery when we're fixing, and it is a proper LG battery, at least it's labeled that way, and so I believe it. Also, I feel like the charger could be a little bit quicker, but you could get two, and you could use two and charge at the same time. Other complaints would be this is hard to get at because of the bar, so just leave them off unless you're going in wet, okay? See how I've got that pulled off? This one's hard to get to as well, but that's kind of a complaint. My other complaint is that this rinky-dink operation here, it feels good, but then you have to peel it up to get to the screws if you would ever have to, reattach a light or something like that, because this light is on. Sorry, it's so bright, guys. But that light wasn't on when we first got it. So in terms of complaints, those are not huge issues. I would be annoyed, if I didn't know how to fix it. And we were, because they said, oh yeah, it's user serviceable and blah, blah, blah. Well, we had a hard time. There's no exploded view diagram. So watch our video, we'll help you. And that's one thing we found on e-bikes, is that these Chinese companies don't always give you good documentation. Other times they give you amazing documentation in Chinese. So get used to using Google Translate, because if you do, you can turn on your camera and you can read it like it's in English, which is just crazy in and of itself. So thank you, Google. That's one thing you did right. Okay, so next thing up, we're gonna do an onboard run, and we'll show you what it looks like. So stay tuned. All right, the bionic man.
Yeah,
say
right.
Hi, camera crew. I don't know if you guys can see my reflection in there, but we're gonna go walk to the rig. Oh yes, it's so beautiful. And we're just gonna give you guys a forward-facing onboard view, and we're gonna see how this goes, guys. Okay.
Is your angle good?
Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to help me on this, camera crew, because I am not able to see very good. There we go. Maybe a little bit more down. Okay, guys, so here goes nothing. Honk, honk. Woo! You guys can see it now. Okay, I'm about 10% in the throttle, and now full throttle. Leaning forward and jumping. Into the brakes hard. We'll take this turn. Guys, we're going so fast just out of the driveway there. Now we're going 14, 16, 21, 20, 25, 30, 30, 32, 36, 38, 40, 40, 42. We're going uphill, guys. And you can just take it, right where you want it, guys. It's so fast, okay? Now we're gonna make sure we're respectful of the people in the cemetery if there's anybody visiting. Okay, so we're just gonna go 38 miles an hour in the cemetery. I don't wanna join these people, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit early. Make sure we're not disrespecting anybody here. This is a nice little cemetery up the road. You can see our backyard there. And here we go, full throttle. Guys, watch this thing gain speed like a rocket ship, uphill. You don't get that 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 34. And we'll slow down and make sure we yield the traffic. Looks like we're good. And a little bit of sand there, so we'll just take it easy. And here we go. Don't have to lean into it as much when you're going 36, 37, 38, 39. There's 40. With a lot of headwind. Going still 40, give it a little rock, see if I can get it going quicker. And that wind is painful today. Lots of gusting, but absolutely no shake in the steering, guys. Okay, heavy on the braking here. You guys can surely see it's not that big a deal. It just feels totally safe. Here we go. The worst part is the wind. Okay, so we're just gonna cruise it up to speed and give you a full speed pass here. I'm gonna kind of duck a little bit. Okay, 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 47, 46. Looks like we're probably not gonna break 47, 49. Come on, give me 50. There's 50 for just a fraction of a second. Amazing. Oh yeah, so eager. 48 miles an hour up the hill and slowing down hard. You definitely don't want to take this thing on loose gravel, and that is exactly what we're looking at there. So here goes nothing. You can spin that front end if you want, but the guys at Kaabo, they thought of everything. Okay, one more run. We'll try as high a speed as we can get. It's probably not going to be very fast because of the crosswind. 41 miles an hour. Let's show you a quick deceleration here. Out of the throttle and heavy braking, as you can see, right in, no problems. And we'll take a little jump here just to show you can do it. Woo! Heavy braking. Take a wide turn right to the camera crew. As you can see, she's right there. So guys, I lived.
That's good.
We're gonna pause and switch the camera around. So guys, I hope you could hear any of that, but the excitement is palpable when you're riding this thing. It's super fun. It probably would do okay on firm ground that's not a road, but I'm not gonna risk it because I love this thing. It is so much fun. I'm gonna be using it for years to come. And the thing about it is with these type of products, when you get faster, you get more capable. And when you get faster, you also get more dangerous. So you just gotta keep your wits about you. This helmet is lifting in the wind. It's that much wind. I'm probably getting about 55, 60 miles an hour with the wind down that hill. When it's 40, 41 miles an hour is all it can push. That's because you're pushing against the wind. The other day, admittedly, we had a pretty good tailwind, and I think I mentioned that, but we did hit 50. Now that is great because I'm right in the weight range. I'm at 300 and they say up to 330. This thing would totally do more. So it is high time we get a Chinese company that actually comes out and gives us the truth, and we hardly ever get that. Even the ones we've liked in the past, they've fallen short. And I'm right in the weight range. So guys, if you're looking for something like this, you're a big guy or you're a big gal, get this thing. You'll like it. You'll never look back. If you got one that goes 20 miles an hour, this thing is gonna blow your mind. It is nothing like what you've experienced, and it is rock solid in performance. You're gonna love it. So guys, without further ado, we hope you'll enjoy the unbox part of this video, and we'll go ahead and clip in where we fix that one light, and hopefully you don't have that problem. I think it's just a shipping thing once in a while. You're gonna have stuff like that. So, very few complaints, very much excited about this product, okay? That's unusual, but we love it. And guys, I know you want to see me radio control something, so don't worry, it's coming. But if you really want to support Brian Phillips RC, one of the best things you can do is buy these products from the links in the video description. We always get a lot of views. We get a lot of people that go out and check these things out, and then they see the price, they fall out of their chair, and they're laughing and slamming the ground, you know, like it's a big joke. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Go find a dirt bike that's gonna cost you this kind of money and also survive on. And that's your juxtaposed, because this thing is amazing. It is a lot of money, but the thing is, it's a lot of fun. And if you need a commuter, this thing could totally do it. I'm telling you guys, there's cars that come down this road very infrequently, but when they do, I don't feel scared. I can outpace them unless they're going 70, and then they can outpace me. But the thing is, it's so cool. The confidence that you get from being able to move is the confidence you need to do it in traffic, okay? Now, I'm not gonna recommend you do that necessarily. That's up to you. That's between you and your city officials and whatever, and the DOT and all that crap. So just make sure you're following the rules, or not, I don't care. It's not my problem. Just don't do what I said, you know? I love this thing. It's fun. We're gonna enjoy it a lot, and I think you will too. So buy one from the links, and if you do, you'll support us financially with small contributions from the companies we work with, and we tell it the way it is. We pointed out a few conflicts with this thing, so don't think we're just slathering it on because they send us these things for review and we want the commissions. Of course we want the commissions. Everyone wants commission, but the thing is, at the end of the day, this thing is awesome and you will love it. And yes, we've done others and we've had a few good experiences too. But the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, this is the best by far. It's not a little bit better, it's a lot better, okay? So check it out. If you were holding your breath on the last one, get this one for sure. The other thing too is I found that e-bikes are great and we're gonna still do them once in a while, and scooters are great and we're gonna do them once in a while, but at the end of the day, these things are so much fun, so I am not gonna be held back from doing these, even though the video will get less traction than anything else we've done in the recent history. So guys, when we love stuff on Brian Phillips RC, we love bringing it to you. We can't not share it. So we hope you guys appreciate that, and we hope you'll be back for more. We try to run these things on limited periods of time, like Sundays, but don't worry, Monday will come, okay? We've got more RC content coming, and maybe someday, if I get one of these guys to really send me some good stuff, we can RC it. But we'll have to wait on that for another day. So definitely stay tuned, guys. The next up is gonna be our unbox part. If you have questions and comments, leave them in the comments below, but definitely check out the link, see if it's in your budget, and if it meets your needs, buy that sucker. Oh, by the way, if you don't like this one and you wanna buy others that we've reviewed in the past, we'll have a playlist that populates on the screens at the end of the video, and you can check them out. We have all our ride-on stuff that'll pop up there. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the unbox. All right, guys, so we realized that we didn't have the camera pointed up high enough for this, so we're gonna do it now. Okay, here we go, guys. Full throttle, baby. Here we go. This is the next day, and we're just gonna take you up and down the road. The wind's a little bit calmer, which is super nice. It's a little bit warmer. And here we go, guys. 25, 30, 33, 36, 37, 38, 39, and we are going uphill quite a bit, going to 40. And we're gonna slow down now. We'll take a quick route through the cemetery here. The brakes, you can probably hear that pulsing. We'll be nice and gentle through here so we're not rude, disrespectful if we see anybody. 37, there's 40 miles an hour in the cemetery. Don't want to join anybody, but just leaning back, put my weight back on the back wheel. Everything feels rock solid as usual. And I'll tell you what, this thing is a joy to ride when it's calm. When it's cold and windy, here we go. I'll give you a shot of that going uphill. Hopefully you can see 29, 30, 32, 34. That's pretty fast for a cemetery, guys. Okay, checking the road. And we're good. And here we go, guys. This will be our high-speed pass. Leaning way forward, keep our weight on the front wheel. And here we are at 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 42, 43, a little bit of rocking, 44, 46, 45, and we got somebody pulling onto the road, so I have to watch out for this guy. And we got to stop for traffic. So as you can see, we've got somebody now on the road, so we'll have to wait for them. But we'll basically go up the driveway and get out of their way. I would have outpaced them, but I'm not going to. All right, so heavy braking. And as you can see, this thing does just great. And in the air, just a little bit of air time. And counting up for the camera crew. Hi, camera crew.
Hey.
Did that look better?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll
it wasn't as fast. We only got the 45 today. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause and do our closing statements here. Okay, so that went smooth. It's way more comfortable today because it's not so cold. And I did put my coat on just in case I have an accident. I figure it's gonna be easier on my arms and stuff, but really I don't even need it. It just feels rock solid. And helmet and everything feels safe. Even with that little bit of sand and stuff like that at the end of the roads from winter, it just feels rock solid. Now, I'm not gonna go flying through corners, but this thing has just been great. I hope you guys can see better on that route. We'll probably go ahead and leave our other clip, but that was just a short clip. Hopefully the camera was pointed up enough, because I noticed that yesterday it was pointed like almost down. And yes, you could see the speedometer when we did hit the 50 miles an hour for just a quick fraction of a second. But just so you guys know, when we went 55, we had tailwind like crazy. And then obviously coming back, it slows you down. So definitely an amazing experience. Check it out from the links. If you want to help support us, buy it from the links when you do follow through those links to check out the prices and stuff like that. And if you have other questions on specs, they'll have them listed on the website. So far, I actually believe this. Kaabo, amazing. This is the Wolf Warrior 11. And we really like it as we got it outfitted right now. And I think you guys will like it too. So hopefully that onboard camera footage will be a little bit better and pointed up so you could see. Guys, if you have questions or comments, leave them down below in the comments. Don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and click the bell for notifications if you want to see all the latest from Brian Phillips RC. And I promise, not one of these for a little bit, but it's been pretty good. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Normally I would pick up a box right now and put it up here, but it's just, hold on. I'll show you in a minute. Camera crew.
Just say something about how well it's gonna fly.
Good Lord.
I'm just waiting for you.
Yeah, this thing's a little heavy for an airplane.
Take your time. Yeah, who put it in the garage?
I carried it up the steps in the garage. Okay, so this thing, you can probably tell from the box, it is not an airplane, but it is gonna fly. And I mean, even with me on it, which is a miracle. It's like canceling gravity. This thing is supposed to go 50 miles an hour. I'm very excited about it, and we're getting ready to open it up right now. So what is this thing anyway? This is from Kaabo. It is a scooter that's like on-road, off-road capable. I can't remember what type of tires they sent ours with, but you can get them with different tire types, right?
I think the off-road tires are an option.
I'm gonna put it here and try to slide. This box is like 125 pounds, guys.
Heavy.
Okay, so yes, I can pick up 125 pounds, but it just makes me glad I'm not in the mafia and have to get rid of people very often. Oh, good Lord. That is ridiculous. Okay, so we're just gonna do this and we're gonna just be careful. I think we got a label down there still. So basically what we're dealing with here is we have a scooter inside of this thing. And when we've opened them, what is this one anyway? This is the Wolf Warrior 11, okay? And it is a scooter that you ride on. It's big, it's bad, it's gonna be exciting, and I can't wait to unbox it and review it for you guys. So I got a knife and I got scissors and I know how to use them. We're gonna open this thing up right now. Obviously this is the unbox, build and radio setup part, although I'm kind of assuming there's no radio involved since you have to write on it. And if you're new to the channel, we normally do fixed wing aircraft, as you can see from the plethora of airplanes, but we also have found a niche that we really enjoy. And so you guys get to tolerate it.
You're welcome.
And we think it's super fun. And that is e-bikes and e-scooters. And yes, some of you guys are like, no man, not e-scooters. You don't get any exercise. I'm like, yeah, you don't. That's why I like it.
It's okay.
So if you guys are doing e-scooters for exercise, you're probably doing the wrong thing. But I still love this stuff. And it's super, super, super fun. And also I do PPG, which is not fixed wing aircraft. It's not helis, it's not quads, it's not VTOLs. But I still love it, and we're gonna do it on this channel. So hopefully you guys get a kick out of once in a while seeing something that isn't an airplane, but we do love doing this. This is so dang close to other consumer electronic stuff we do. Look at that sweet toolkit. This one's even nicer than the last one we got. It does look real similar to the one we got with a competitive brand. We'll just put it that way. Looks like some nut covers and extra brake pads, legit brake pads. They're not very big. This thing has electromagnetic brakes and hydraulic disc brakes, I believe, right? Ooh, look, it's a user's manual. That thing looks sweet. Look at those, look at that nice pair right there.
Yeah.
We do like a nice pair here on Brian Phillips RC. And yes, these are pneumatic tires, so that's kind of convenient. Looks like this thing busted through. Oh, that's a rack. We have a rack shooting through. Show them my rack. Thank you. Not that one, this one. Okay, and then we've got this thing, whatever it is, I'm gonna take it out and lay it on the counter just to make sure it's not something inappropriate. Oh, it's not, it's just this thing, whatever that is. That would be a kickstand, I believe, guys. That is more robust than some e-bikes we've reviewed. Good Lord.
Is it metal? The whole.
It's metal.
Metal? I was going to say steel. And then
this is a new type of product. It's called Smetal. Now, it looks like this thing is actually going to be able to bolt on either side, because maybe you can take this off and go onto the other hook point. But that is all one piece, really nice cast setup. So that's going to be nice. Should be something you can do. And then, of course, it comes with 2 large mounting hardware. And of course, this thing is going to give you all the different Allen keys you could ever need for this bike, I'm assuming. And now that I've said that, we're going to need something more. Yeah, exactly. So let's just show you what we got on here. That's all nice. It comes with a square. What the heck is that for? Oh, it's got sockets in it? Jeez, that's so cool. This thing is like the survival tool of a lifetime. Look at this, all sorts of stuff. So for those of you that needed these things, it's right here. That's pretty cool. I don't know if that's optional. Any of this stuff that comes out of the box, I assume it's not optional until otherwise indicated. And yes, I'm keeping packaging material because I have to send a plane to somebody. Oh, if you're that somebody, then you can feel special. Wow, look at that. We got a label. We have to put on our own label.
It's like a.
Yeah, but it's like a hard label. But it's round because it's going to go onto the front.
Yeah.
All right, so, there's more.
More stuff.
But wait, there's more. Oh. What is that?
I don't know, but it looks spilled.
It looks, no, well, yes. But what is with the Chinese and sending bottles that don't actually close? This is totally brake fluid, I believe. And then there's a nipple adapter. What? And then whatever that thing is, I have no clue. Oh, it's a feeler gauge, maybe. No, it's a pump something. Okay, I'm not opening that crap unless I have to. Why can the Chinese not make a valve that seals on a bottle like this? Like, you can make this thing, but you can't. I just don't get it.
At least the plastic bag's sealed.
We think.
Hopefully.
We're going to find out if it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so continuing along, guys, you know, here on Brian Phillips RC, we review stuff the way we see it, and we show you what you're getting into, because some of the stuff is really expensive, and you don't want to order it and find out it sucks. And we're going to show you if it sucks, but at the same time, we haven't really found one that doesn't meet an application. We always kind of let you guys make up your mind on things like this, because some people aren't into this stuff, some people are. That is very heavy. That's good. Usually means there's a good heat sink in it. And we've got this 3-prong style microphone jack for power. And what do we have for power anyway? This thing puts out, looks like the output is 67.2 volts. Holy cow, at 1.75 amps. That's 117 watts. And it does show you the polarity on the pinout for this doohickey here, which is nice. And then the input is 100 to 240 volts AC at a 2.5 amp max input draw on the load. So that's pretty cool, and that's a good amount of power. Generally, if you get a charger and it's like, yeah, it charges at 4 watts, then you're gonna be charging for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the regular AC style plug that you would expect to get in North America. This one here is made in Ding Dong Hang Low. What? That's what it says right there. Anyway, we're gonna put that there. We're getting close. I'm super excited for this thing, guys. I know some of you are like, it's not an airplane, Brian. It's not an airplane. Brian, get an airplane. We feel neglected. You've only done 7 videos in the last 10 days. That is some thick packaging. Goodness gracious. It is. Like, even this is heavy. By the way, this box it's like 125 pounds. Okay, so if you saw me and you're like, man, that guy's a weakling.
No, it was really heavy.
Pick up somebody and throw them up on the counter.
Yeah.
You want to show them inside of here? I would tip it, but it's like 125 pounds. I can't just tip it. Wow, there's the pair. Oh, it's got a horn. Yes, look, big tires. I get to the chopper. These tires are huge.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so we're gonna pull this thing out. This is just really ramrodded in there. Ooh! You know why it's ramrodded in there?
Because it's like broken through the surprise.
Probably because every single person that touched this was like, why isn't this freight? Holy cow, look at all the loose foam in there. You are gonna hate that. Oh, that's awesome.
Felt bad for our FedEx girl.
Yeah, our FedEx girl. And
she's awesome, but
she,
this is really heavy.
Every once in a while we get kind of pissed when they put it next to our garage instead of bringing it up to the doorstep. this is kind of one of those
Don't
times
blame
where it's
her.
like, yeah, just get it out of the truck if you can.
Yeah.
Or we get a forklift out there. Okay, look at this. We've got, oh, what?
Looks like a, what is
What?
that?
Are those knee pads? Those, you could use those if you wanted knee pads. Is this
No.
knee pads? No, that's a zipper case.
Is it like a,
Yeah.
to like store stuff in?
Yeah, it's like a case. I thought it was a seat. Let's see what it looks like. Oh wow, look at that. That's pretty amazing. Okay, looks pretty standard. It's got some straps here. Got some straps here. Oh, I think what you can do, that is the weirdest looking zipper. Huh.
It is weird.
Okay, so this thing opens and then you can put your Snickers or beer, Snickers in there. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so evidently that's for something. I don't know what it's for. Okay, so now we have to figure out how to get this thing out. And I think what I wanna do is I wanna probably cut this box down.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, or, yeah, I don't really know if there's another option.
Because it's just so dang heavy, I'm gonna have to like somehow roll it off.
I don't want to like tip it over on its side or something, right?
See this? I'm just gonna cut that, and then I'm gonna just let the sides down.
Okay.
This is probably the easier way to do it, okay? So that's stapled on this end. You could just remove the staples. And we show you how we unbox it, but I mean, obviously there's more than one way to skin a cat, quite literally. We have cats, so I don't know from experience, but I can imagine what it'd be like if I did. Okay, so I'm gonna push this that way. Ooh, yeah, pretty easy to move now. So as you can see, it's really well packed. These things take a beating though, like this, look, there's a hole through the box. When you get your box, if there's a little bit of exterior damage, don't freak out, you're probably okay. But you may want to do a quick unbox. Like look over here, guys, we got a little bit of a crack here. See that? Okay. So part of the reason we do unboxes, part of the reason it brings value to people online is of course you can see how the stuff is packaged. This is really good packaging. We've seen worse, but honestly, we haven't had an e-bike that was really terribly packed yet. They seem to have that stuff down pretty well. And to be honest, if it was freighted, if it was on a pallet, then it would be a lot more complicated. You'd have to get liftgate service. And most people don't want to pay for liftgate service. You know, at least when it comes to LTL carriers, liftgate service is very expensive. It can cost 75 to 150 bucks for liftgate service, you know, just for that feature, not to mention the regular shipping and stuff. So this does have a warning thing on it for the LiPo. Assume this is LiPo, or is this lithium ion?
That's a good question.
I actually don't know what type of battery this thing has in it, but it's gonna be huge. Okay, so we've got it down to the bagged body. Now let's talk about the tires real quick for just a second. These are the road tires, okay? This thing can come equipped with road tires, and look at the travel, guys. Look at that opening there, it's huge. You can get off-road tires for this bike too, or not bike, but scooter. And I would suggest that you seriously consider it, just because this thing will do on-road and off-road. I'm gonna try to tip it over, I think. What do you think? It'd be kind of cool. One thing that we would really like from these manufacturers is if there was a picture that denoted the best way to unpack it, because these things are really heavy.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a pretty strong guy, and so I can make my way around these heavier items. But if you were just like not a strong guy, it might be kind of tough. Okay.
Do you want me to pull this?
No, I don't. I just want to get this.
Okay.
I actually just want to show the people, like, look, this is pretty robust packaging. So we should be good to go. Might help you stand it up, but I mean, we'll get the kickstand installed, then we can just put it up on its own feet.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you can see this is all double walled, double thick wall. This stuff is very strong. It's almost like wood, okay? So whenever you get that type of packaging, you know you're gonna have a good chance of success. And just so you know, I'm undergirded by our countertop here. Oh, that's so heavy. Okay, cool, and then this piece must have busted off. That didn't look like it did so good. This one's been broken up a bunch, but I mean, nothing seems to be broken yet.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so as we do these unboxes, we like to show the no BS approach to kind of what we experienced, and you're experiencing it with us. And my first thought is the thing looks nice. Oh, it's got lights down here too, like our competitive offering that we did not too long ago. And it's got two huge lights up here, which is awesome. Super disappointed with the lighting on the last offering. but love that one. It's been very good. Those are nice looking brakes. Holy cow. Okay, tubeless nylon. That's nice. Tubeless is cool. This is a weird tire though. 9065 6.5 35F 4PR max load, 121 kilograms at 350 kilopascals or 50 PSI. 50 PSI. And they feel like they got a pretty good amount of tire pressure in them already. Now this is a dual drive. So you're gonna have, are they 1200 watts on the front and the back? You're gonna have to hold it if you're holding it.
Okay.
Hey, you're moving it. Okay, I'm gonna try sliding a little bit different. I wonder if I wanna get to the point where I can put the kickstand on. And look at this, we've got huge travel, big springs down here, brake lights, everything's glued in, look at that. The cable's not even just zip tied, it's glued. That's nice. I guess,
Cut the plastic bag.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. And that's the other thing. Sometimes when you get these things, you got to be a little bit careful about packaging, because I know like if you have a problem, you may have to be responsible to get it back. Generally, if you have a problem with one of these things, you can get the box back together if you open it the way we've done it. It's just going to take a lot of tape and it's not going to be as strong. I see something right here. That must be the pin to keep it in. And like other systems we've seen, okay, so they've got it taped closed. I'm gonna cut the tape. There are multiple charge ports, which is super nice, but there is a big support beam here. And I'm just gonna undo some of this. And it looks like that is attached, that's a handlebar. Okay, so there's wiring attaching it. Looks super high quality. I mean, really nice finish on the materials. And then really nice wrap around all this, but you can undo it and you can get in there. So we have serviceability still, which is nice. That is the brake lines. As you come forward, you can see, obviously we have another hub here for the motor. Looks really good. Everything is nice and clean. Same size tire here on the front as we did on the back. And not surprisingly. And then this is our adjustment here for the lock on the vertical to flat adapter. So that thing will go in here and it will actually lock it in place. And then this is an LG cell inside. So basically it's using an LG battery. We've seen that from a few other vendors and manufacturers. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to tip this up, but of course I have no way of securing it. So my next move might be to figure out where the actual kickstand goes. The kickstand, of course, is going to allow me to get it on a vertical and not have problems, but I don't quite see where it attaches. Did you see a manual? Yes, we did.
We did. We did
so
have a manual.
if you guys are curious, we're going to look at the manual right now because we need to figure out how to do this, and we're going to see what's inside of here, okay? Product introduce. Okay, so non-proper English. There's your motor, there's your off-road tires. Dual charging, LED spotlights, tail light, spotlight switch. What? There's a power switch down below. Eco, turbo, single, dual. Oh, it's got that stupid nomenclature that we've seen. It's so confusing. Okay, so it looks like these are the breakdowns of the different styles. And front and rear hydraulic brake plus ABS. That's pretty good. I believe we've got this one here. Safety instructions. Okay. Oh, unfolding. Okay, step one. Lift the front fork. Please adjust the position of the locking shaft if needed. Okay. Step two, fold down the folding lever. Yeah, but where do they talk about putting on the... Oh, that display looks similar to another one we've worked with. That's always nice. I'm not seeing anything on here.
The kickstand.
Is a kickstand like an option? Do you see it? Oh, it's on the back. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so just visualizing this, you should be able to put it on the side that's down, of course. Okay. Ooh, and look, see that greasy bearing? That's always a bad sign. There's a bunch of grease sticking out. So we're gonna turn on the light so you guys can see. Ew. So that's just the shaft that everything pivots on. So it's not actually like the drive shaft. It's not really a drive shaft because it's an electric motor. It's just on the output on the bell housing. Okay, so let's flip this up if we can. If you guys are new to Brian Phillips RC, this is just one of our fun things that we do occasionally. And it's not our mainstay on the channel, but we do really enjoy e-bikes and things like this because we live on a big piece of property and we want to use it. And so we figured this would be a cool way to share some of that. Look at those huge lights. Oh, super excited to get this thing vertical. Once I get it vertical, I just need to watch out that I'm gonna hit that light. And also, I'm kind of wondering if it might make better sense to just go ahead and throw this handlebar in.
Yeah.
While it's easy to reach.
It seems to be pretty stable.
Yeah,
it's actually sitting right now.
Yeah, it's just chilling because it's sitting on the bottom of the battery here. So I don't feel like we're gonna cause a lot of problems. So why don't I just pull this bag out so it's better for the visibility of the viewer. Oh, battery, here it is. I can see it now. 25 kilometers per hour maximum speed. What? That is not 50 miles per hour. That can't be right. Then it says rated capacity, 60 volts at 35 amp hours. Max load, 150 kilograms. Minimum age is 16. Product class is 2, IPX5. Power rated 1200 watts times 2. So there are two 1200 watt motors. Input 67.2 volts. What the heck? What? That's not the same as what they said on the other side here. It says 1.7 amps. I don't know. Net weight 46 kilos. So it's 46 times 2.2 if you want that in imperial. So this is a configuration for 11 Pro. If any of that answers your questions, I don't understand some of it. I am gonna have to tip probably beyond center. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, big bag, we'll get rid of that. We try to show all the pieces and parts that come out of this thing just in case you guys are, having problems on your own and you're watching this video to help you with your own unbox. See this is your valve stem. It's got a bent valve stem. We're gonna turn the lights on so you can see, okay? Easy to get to. And then same thing up here. Looks like it's on the same side, both of these. And then there is a warning up here. Oh no, I want that thing to come off of there. Ooh, it's not coming off of there. It's coming off somewhat. Oh man, that ticks me off. Okay, so you see what I'm talking about? Here's the warnings, guys. You can read that for a second if you want. We shut off our flash. Okay, so you can pause it and go back to that if you want. I'm just ripping it off because I want to get rid of that ugly thing because this black is cool.
Yeah, it's really
I really
nice
like it. Okay, so we don't need to worry so much about the kickstand just quite yet, but we'll come back to that shortly. Looks like we'll probably take that bolt out. So let's look at the handlebars for assembly reasons. Okay. Just be careful not to tangle up your lines because this is where you make or break it for ease. Okay, it feels like it needs to twist, but I can't tell which way. Probably like that, I assume. I can't tell. It feels like I'm getting a lot of resistance. That's definitely the brake. Oh, and you always want to make sure that the unit is off because we don't want this to shoot off of our counter. It would definitely damage something badly. Okay, maybe the twist is supposed to be there. Kind of hard to tell. I don't know. Get all this crap off of here too. Okay. Undo this. Okay, so looks like this is the way that goes. So nice reinforced handles, rubber grips. That metal is gonna get hot in the sun, but at least you can adjust the tightness where it bites onto the shaft. Eco Turbo, all the controls. We got a throttle, power control there, and then we've got brakes on both sides. They feel really solid. Feel that brake, camera crew. That is really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then I usually have to adjust this a little bit. And this says mini motors on it. It says EYE, I guess. I don't know. It's not
Actually, it looks a
actually
little different
letter.
than the picture.
Well, there's two different styles, and this is the one style. The other styles are different. I wonder if that's supposed to go through here. And I'm kind of feeling like that makes better sense because this would fit through nicely because it just feels so much resistance with that. And even if I twist this around like that, I feel like I'm getting a huge twist in there. You see what I'm talking about? Does that go on the inside?
Looks awkward.
It does, yeah, it really
Feels
kind of
awkward.
does. That's backward, hun. So I
Yeah,
would have to
that's
go.
backward.
Let's see if this does it. See? See that big twist? I mean, these are on the brake lines. There's like not, if you get it wrong, it's gonna matter. And that instruction did not clear it up for me.
No, it doesn't.
Why don't you show the
Folding.
people the instructions as you're looking?
Really, all they give you is the instructions on the folding.
Yeah. Which we could fold it, but that's not necessarily gonna solve our problem.
But then they don't really tell you how, like if there's a specific way that needs to get put on.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just have to use our intuition. So,
Okay.
along with our intuition, we're gonna use this crazy, you know,
Okay.
what?
The picture, it does show them kind of running
On
down
the
like
outside?
both sides of the outsides, if
Yeah,
that
but
helps.
you see my tangle though. That's what I'm concerned with. And I'm wondering if there's just a way for me to pivot it so that it untangles as I go. But I'm feeling like as I do this, I can't confirm where it came from or where it's going. See what I'm talking about?
I do.
I feel kind of bad. It's like when you're trying to untangle a cable and it's got a nasty memory on it. It's the same kind of situation. That's why I tend to think maybe this is supposed to go through. Is it clear?
not.
It's not
No.
clear at all.
Not
Dang.
at all.
So I'm pretty sure that this needs to get to the right side at the end of the day. So there it's untangled, but then you still got a big old loop there, and I do not like that resistance. So I think what I'm gonna do is we might play with this off camera and just show you what we came up with here in a minute, so stay tuned. So in typical Brian Phillips fashion, I've not answered my question, but we did clean up because it was kind of driving me nuts. And I got some essential oil. It's lemony fresh. We're gonna use this to try to take off this. Camera crew says I'm gonna ruin the finish. We're just gonna find out.
You might.
She's concerned. I'm not so much.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's just, you put it on the thing and then you wipe it on the other thing and then sometimes things work. I just want to get the stupid warning label off of here. We did read it and it did make sense, and yeah, sure, if you don't follow the instructions, you could die and kill everybody around you, but you know, that's a risk I'm willing to take. But seriously though, this thing will go fast, evidently 50 miles an hour. It better be 50 miles an hour, not 25 kilos, or 25 kilometers, sorry, not kilos. So, because 25 kilometers an hour is significantly less than 50 miles per hour.
Right.
So I'm kind of hoping that's a typo. I would not put it past the Chinese. It's happened a time or two.
Might have to let that soak for a little
No,
bit.
it's coming off just
It is.
perfectly. Look, see? So guys, if you need to figure out how to take your labels off, then all you need to look no further than Now Essential Oils. 100, see, you get more than you bargained for on
did.
Brian Phillips RC
You could also
today.
use orange. Any citrus would
Yeah,
work. Don't waste
or
grapefruit. That's more
WD-40.
expensive.
Or WD-40.
Yeah, but that's like
But WD-40,
sticky and
this smells delicious. It
I
makes
know.
me want to like just smell it. So yeah, as you can see, it's coming off of there. Camera crew's idea of waiting was probably the smart move. Oh, by the way, full disclosure, I don't want to forget to say this later. When I put the kickstand on, I'm going to use some Loctite. This did not come with the kit. If it's in the kit, I don't know where it is. It'd be in that box or bag or whatever you want to call this little brake fluid. I assume that's brake fluid. There's a syringe in there and some goodies. But when we get ready to use those, full disclosure, I provided them and it was not provided with the machine. So just be aware, we try not to mislead anybody here on Brian Phillips RC. We try to show everything as close to reality as we can and give you guys an idea of whether or not you want to dump this kind of coin on a big, awesome machine like this. That looks perfect. Do you think I got it all?
I'm glad I was right about that.
Yeah, how it was going to ruin the paint?
So
Okay.
you said it was going to screw it up.
No, I didn't. See, anybody who's married understands. So the next move is, okay, so we sort of untangled this like one turn and we just lost interest in trying to do this. And then we walked away and cleaned everything up. That's what we do because we're both clean freaks. I'm going to just try that. That did not work. I'm going to go the other way instead and see that's going to make a twist in it. So then as a result, I'm going to come back this way. I mean, there's only so many ways you can do it, guys. See, and it always seems to get that nasty twist
it's
in it.
got these like Velcro straps Is it possible that you need to just put it on and then like
Well, you could also loosen this and see if you could let it slack, but I just don't like the idea of having the brakes going through this big 360-degree loop. That is not acceptable in my opinion. So I just got to figure out like how do I twist this thing so that I get this on the right side, because this is definitely where the throttle is, and this definitely needs to be that direction. Yeah, the light's over here, it's pointed upright. Everything about it says this is the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
So unless I got to just spin this twice.
And we haven't tried to put it through.
See, that looks pretty dang good right there. And you're right, we haven't tried putting it through. And if we put it through, then that would potentially resolve the conflict. And it would take up all the extra. See, I just passed it through. And if that's it, then I'm actually totally fine with it, because at that point, it's got all the slack out of it. It's not such a big issue. And then that keeps it between the forks nicely, and it looks clean.
Yeah.
But my concern is, yeah, see, this is gonna always stay in the same position here.
That part is.
This is gonna move up and down, and then it's gonna pivot. The back half is gonna pivot. But I don't see a problem with that. I do see a problem with it the other way. Now can we twist it? No. It does exactly the same thing where you get those big loops.
Too much excess.
Yeah, and I think they twisted it for that reason. Okay, so we're just gonna go back. And guys, these are the types of things that instructions written in English would help with. But when you get some of the stuff, you don't get very good English instructions. And that's just one of the reasons why you can watch a video like this and get something useful out of it. Okay, come on over here, camera crew. So we're gonna use this thing. We're gonna stick it into that thing. You can see it's the, looks like the 5 millimeters.
Okay.
So we're just gonna use this tool, the provided tool. We'll break that free. Of course, you can go here and get more torque, or you can go like this if you wanna go quick. We're gonna opt for quick. Now, I've never had on any of my other scooters have the handlebar come loose. The things that come loose on our experience have been the pedals on e-bikes.
On e-bikes.
Yep. And so if you guys get an e-scooter, there's just less stuff to come loose. And to be honest, I have loved having an e-scooter. I thought it was gonna be the lamest, dumbest thing ever. And I was so wrong, because even though I was like, that looks like it could be maybe fun, I was like, it's never gonna be that fun. And then we got a really slow one, and it was kind of a little bit lame.
But it was so cool.
But at the time, I was scared to death on it.
Right.
Then we went up to one that goes like 40 miles an hour, which of course you can't do 40 with me on there. It could do 40 with like my wife on there. Or my buddy that's 100 pounds lighter than me. But the thing is, it's still awesome, and I love it. And I jump on there and I drive way up the road to our other entrance to our property. And it's so cool. And I can go off road and I have no problems. And it's just super fun until you hit a molehill. And then you go, whoop. That's the only time I've crashed other than the other time.
That time you went down the hill?
I went down that hill and took a turn, and I slipped off and crashed, and I hit my head pretty good. But I don't remember. I hit my head on the grass. And then underneath the grass was hard ground.
Yes.
Fortunately for me, my head was harder than the ground. So anyway, if you guys decide to Loctite these, that's fine. They seem to have a pretty good amount of oil on them, which is not unusual from Chinese manufacturing. Okay, see, got good oil on there. Nothing special. There's a lot of metal fragments in there too, which is not usually, confidence building, but that's fine. We'll go with it. Now, according to the picture, because really the best picture you're gonna get would be online.
Yeah.
So if you guys are curious, check the links in the video description below. You can go check out where to buy this thing for yourself. Ningbo, Zhenjiang, China, Shenzhen. Ningbo, Shenzhen, China.
Yeah. It's new.
They're just one phone call away. Just dial 1-673-425-789. I totally made that up.
Somebody's going to totally dial that number now.
Yeah, it's like, false advertising. Sorry, guys. We do that all the time. Okay, there it is, guys. Look, we got one screw started. We got 2 screws going.
Hey, while you're screwing and giving out fake phone numbers, this would be a good time to remind people that we don't do giveaways on
Oh, we don't do
YouTube.
giveaways, guys.
If you get a comment that says text us and then
Yeah.
send us money.
Yeah. Don't ever send us
do
anything
that.
on WhatsApp. If
No.
it's on WhatsApp, it's obviously fake.
Or what's the other one? Telegram. We don't do
Telegram.
that either.
Who uses Telegram that isn't a scammer?
I don't
The
know.
answer is nobody.
Do people? Someone comment.
Nobody.
if you do.
Nobody has ever used
No.
it. I got some of that essential oil on my eyeball.
I know. Oh, on your eyeball? I'm sorry. I just keep like.
It smells delicious and it burns so good.
Why? How did you get on your eyeball?
Sometimes you touch your balls with your hands and things.
Well, at least it's lemony fresh now.
So anyway, guys, we don't ever do giveaways. And if we did a giveaway, we certainly wouldn't be doing it on Telegram.
Yes.
So if you guys see comments from people, our apologies. We are subject to hackers just like everybody else. And they're not even really sophisticated. They take a picture and then they put it up there and they don't even have the right name. And why do all scammers use emojis?
Yeah, if there's an emoji.
Seriously, if you use an emoji or a weird font, your email is going to spam. And no, I don't need any more
Of
pee
those
medications.
Yeah, if you ever get a comment and it has an emoji in it, it's not
It's
Brian.
not real,
No,
okay?
Just, he's been,
No, I'm talking about if your name is an emoji too.
Yeah,
that
but
was
you don't-
the last one. It had the telephone number like in emojis.
you don't use emojis anyway.
Yeah. Well, smiley face. That's about the most
You don't
I
actually
use.
use the emoji. You just use the actual
Sometimes
typed
I
key.
copy them. If they have like fish or tractors, Master Steel, if you're watching.
Leave
then
Brian
yes.
an emoji comment.
Leave just all emojis.
Somebody did that the other day. It was like 3 lines long.
It's like extreme emoji.
Like every emoji on the
Super
phone.
emotional. Okay, so we're gonna tighten this here, folks. And you may notice that my voice sounds like I'm dying. Don't worry, I'm not. I'm actually just getting over the sinus infection after my cold. Yay. Welcome to Iowa.
Yeah.
Actually, we're almost to spring. And then I get the allergies. So it's gonna be super trifecta going on. Okay, so as you can see, this tool that's provided is quite robust. Seems to be giving me plenty of mechanical advantage to be able to tighten all this stuff. Of course, it would always be easier if you had like an impact or something with the 5mm drive on it. But then again, you'd have to get around these bars, so you might need a short extension. And you should be golden.
It's working.
Yeah, it's working great. I love when the tools that are provided with a piece of equipment are not total garbage, but I must say it's not quite long enough to reach past the equipment bracing. So again, it's not like they made this just for this tool or just for this machine. It is kind of like a generic sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And it just says the sizes there, but it doesn't have any branding or anything like that. No marketing materials on it, which I think is a miss from a marketing standpoint. You think that they would have that stuff all printed up with their
Yeah, at least have like
their
the
logo.
Kaabo logo on it.
Yeah, right. Did you say Kaabo San Lucas?
Are we going there?
I was told not to say that by the camera crew off camera.
I didn't say it.
She was like, that's not their name. But that's the only way I can remember how to say Chinese names.
differently.
You know, they're really scraping the bottom with names from China, I can tell you that. Look at this. We have the twist. I feel like the twist works. It's not perfect, but it definitely works. Kind of looks cool.
Yeah.
Definitely better than a big twist. You guys got to watch for that because I would have been happy for that to just chase right up there. But I don't think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to happen. So then we've got these Velcro things, which I'm just going to show you right now. And the Velcro things are like this, guys. So, I mean, they're really high quality. You can take them off super easy. And then you have nice serviceability because you can take that thing all the way off, all the way down, which is something that we have seen and has been problematic for some people on some bikes and different things in the past. So just keep in mind, looks like they engineered that well. And like right here, see this wire pokes out, it just kind of exits. They got lots of different exit points. So if you add lighting, things like that, you'll be golden. So pretty cool. And I like that that's super easy and quick to do. So you can also tighten this stuff up and get it to just kind of stay put a little bit better. But I love that it's got a big, big light and it is pointable, which is again, very nice. These lights here create a big blind spot because of the wheel. Just full disclosure from experience. Look at this. I don't think that's supposed to be down there. Is that? Oh, it is. That is supposed to be down there. Look, Oh, we have it scratched. Oh, that ticks me off. Oh, and then you remember my nut covers?
Yeah.
Watch, guys. Nut covers. Okay. Let's see where they go. Ooh, they're rubbery and delicious. Okay, so they go like this. Nice. They actually fit. The last one we did, they sort of
were really, yeah.
They didn't sort of fit. These are really nice because they help protect your feet, especially if you wander around with bare feet like we do a lot. But they do fit nicely. And then show them the disc brake right here. You can see that that disc brake apparatus is clearly the same as what I have in my hand. Okay, so these little disc brakes, you got little pads on there, which is cool. So I think what?
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. And I'm assuming that you could probably take that into the local bike shop and see if they carry something similar, but I don't know what size they would be. And so it'd be good. Okay, so this
Are you gonna
goes
put that
here.
on?
Well, shouldn't we?
Probably.
I mean, I think it looks pretty sweet myself. Okay, so let's do it. Some people don't want to have the labels. That's cool, we get it. But we want to see it in all its true colors. Okay, so just line that up, stick it down. Didn't feel like it stuck very good. It's not usually a good sign. Oh, that doesn't turn. That's fixed. Cool. And then of course we have the protective barrier. Ooh, that looks sweet.
Cool.
Okay, so next move. Oh, I think it's time. We're gonna put this thing upright. I didn't really pay special attention to the angle that I mounted this. I just kind of mounted it, okay? Once we get it up in the air, we can see, actually we're gonna have to look at the kickstand next.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we lift this, we're gonna need to kickstand
Have
it.
it supported.
Also, let's talk about the charger before we get too far, because this charger is very basic and very simple, and just wanna show you what we've done is in our garage, we have a large tote. Is that what they're called?
Sure, that works.
A tote that you would get for like your storage of clothing and things like that. And we just have all of our different e-bike chargers, and we have them unwound, and it's very simple and basic. You just grab the correct one and you hook them up when you need them. It's very, very easy. But just remember, if you have different voltages, you need to keep them straight, okay?
Yeah.
So they are different. And if you have a 72 volt system or 60 volt system or 52 or whatever it is, you need to make sure you use the right charger.
Do you have ours labeled out in the garage?
Nope, because we have enough different connectors.
Different ones.
That we don't have a problem. And the bikes that we have that are the same brand and the same voltage classes, they are interchangeable too.
Oh, okay.
So heavy duty, looks nice. It's got a collar that keeps that from coming off, which is nice. And it's gonna be on the other side, so we'll just leave this out of the way. There is gonna be a light that comes on, but we'll go over that in a minute. And then this, just kind of working our way reverse through all this. Looks like this goes right there, folks. And yes, I was correct. I bet there's a way to put it on either side. Nope, there's not a way to put it on
Only on
either
this
side.
side?
Yep, only this side. And yes, this goes back like that, folks. You don't want to drive off and have it going forward. So what I'm going to do to put that on is very basic, very simple. I'm going to take a little bit of Loctite. This is not in the kit, and I'm just going to set it in here on these screws. Of course, I just want to get on the tip so that the threads spread it as it goes through. And this has a pretty robust spring. I don't feel like that's in a bad position, so I'm just going to leave it right where it is. I might just see if it turns really easy. Let's see if it turns real easy. If it turns easy, I might put it in until it's sort of tight. Oh yeah, she's tight. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so then this just goes here. Super easy peasy. Oh, and if your solvent is all you're getting out of your Loctite, you're not gonna get much locking. So what I wanna do is just go until I get, oh, there's the blue stuff. There's the goodies. And you could use, you know, blue or red or whatever you want, depending on how hard you want it to be to take it apart. So just feed this through. Kind of get that started. Is that the same? Yeah, it is. Kind of the same problem as before. It looks like we're gonna be able to get it started, but then we're not gonna have enough clearance to continue too much further. Okay, so just grabbing a little bit more of that Loctite. Now the Loctite is just a precautionary measure because it's a pain when these things come free when you're driving. You could really damage your vehicle. And we go into a little bit more detail here on this channel than some people would need. And so please don't take that the wrong way. We don't mean to insult anybody's intelligence. Camera crew, can you hold that up for me? It's a pretty simple process, to be honest. And the instruction manual just kind of sucks. And we're used to that. Anytime you get these Chinese pieces of equipment, the instructions are like either terrible or moderately bad.
Yeah.
Let go. You have to actually just kind of support it once it gets started.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get that tip started. It's just so awkward because there's nowhere to get your hand. If I had a drill, it would be quicker, but just trying to show it without any specialty tools, unlike a drill.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty specialty.
You can just let it go.
You never know.
I got it now.
I think you're in there now.
Yeah, as long as I get it started, that's all I need. So yeah, basically this tool has worked for the entire assembly. The one thing you're gonna not be able to get away with, I doubt you're gonna be able to do brakes without having some more specialty tools. And I am feeling like I'm gonna break this when I really torque down on there. So we'll find out if that is the case. Oh, it slips out so easy. I hate it when it slips out.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, okay. You want to give them another vantage point so they can see everything there? Nice and good and well. Okay. Pretty basic stuff, guys. Okay, so now we can basically get ready to set this thing up on its feet, which is exciting. There was instructions on this step. Just going to wipe up the Loctite because I don't want that getting everywhere. Of course, the solvents in that can damage plastic, so be careful what you get it on. And then as you can see, this thing will come out. As soon as we get that up vertical, we should be able to kickstand it, which is an important step. And hopefully these unbox build radio setups, in this case, unbox and build, or unbox and assemble if you prefer, have been helpful to you in some way. If they haven't been, I apologize. We try our best. Sometimes these things are pretty easy, sometimes they're pretty hard. In this case, this one's pretty straightforward. Okay, so we see how that is. Then we've got this. It looks like pretty robust. So I'm just not sure exactly how that application works yet, but we're gonna find out. I think it's probably gonna lock once it gets up. Okay, camera crew, are you ready to kind of spot me on this? I don't want this in the way, so I'm not sure what to do except for maybe put that out of the way.
Okay.
And this should be pretty basic. It's always easier than I think. You just keep hold of that because there may be a little bit of braking force, but not much.
Okay.
If this was on the ground, I would just walk the bars up.
I know, I'm just wondering if
We'll go ahead and hold that
on the ground.
We're gonna have to get it on the ground at some point.
Okay.
Okay, so that's up. And then I can't tell, how does this exactly work? Oh, it goes in there. Hey, you gotta keep holding where you are. That thing should drop down like that. Okay, so now it's in there. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know if I have to loosen that to get this down, or I'm still not quite 100% sure on what the heck this thing does yet. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm pushing hard. Okay, so that's down now, so it's locked. Then this thing must be a safety pin that, well, okie dokie. Well, I guess they don't mind if that comes off. What exactly is the purpose of that? Oh, this locks here too. See, it's got a pin, a ball end. Gosh, how the heck do you get it started though? Hey,
you can let go. Kickstand down?
You can let go. Let's kickstand it over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how to get that started. It's a really, it's in now, I think, maybe. And then this is a release. Oh, so you can release that, guys. And then that goes in effortlessly, okay? So you know what's not effortlessly is I need to fix this now, which kind of ticks me off because I don't know. Oh, what the heck? Is that really how that goes on there? See this, guys? My chain came undone. I'm gonna see if I can get that back together. See that? There, now it's on. Okay, so to the rescue, needle nose pliers. There's a cat that's very scared. I was walking this direction, so obviously I meant to eat him. Okay, so we're just gonna flatten that out. Not very robust. I would like to see that a little bit more secure because I don't want to lose that chain.
Right.
That thing is vicious looking. Looks amazing, actually. And then we've got a little...
Where'd that come from?
That came off of here.
Oh.
It just slides on, but see, it's so easy to slide on and off. It kind of makes me nervous. See? Once you get this thing on, it's going to open up. It's going to stretch it back out.
Oh.
So it's going to want to release again, almost guaranteed.
Can you tighten the other link?
What do you mean?
Like the first actual link on the chain? Did it just line up like in the
No,
right spot?
I think I've just got it in a better angle now.
Okay.
I think it's just a shipping thing. Because like I just want that to be caught. I don't want
Right.
to lose this. That looks like a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like where are you going to get that? Nowhere. Ever. And I'm a little bit concerned I'm going to hit it with my foot. But we'll find out. I mean, we do reviews of these things. We don't just do puff pieces, even though that's probably what the manufacturer thinks when they send them to us. We show them the way that they really are, and it looks super nice. I mean, it's very robust. And guys, look, the suspension doesn't even move when I press on it. What I thought the first time I got one that has a suspension is, that's gonna be the most spongy, weird thing ever. And truthfully, it is kind of weird the first time.
Yeah.
But you just get on and you're like, well, I can move and bounce and it works. It's very weird. This is heavy. We got to get it down to the ground. So we're probably going to have to regrettably pause so we can do that together. Okay, so I'm 6'1.5", 2, depending on if I'm buying life insurance. Okay, we're going to loosen this handlebar and we're going to re-manipulate the angle. Now, on other scooters, I've had to adjust the angle of the throttle to fit my style and comfort, which you guys are probably gonna have to do that too. I mean, it's like everybody's a little bit different on height and stuff like that. On their pictures, it looks pretty much upright and vertical. And what I would suggest doing is just see where your hands fall and what you like, because this pad support is gonna dictate how you want it to be. And you'll note that it's pretty high, okay? But if you want it lower, you can do that and you can actually adjust the angle of these. So, but in my case, I'm gonna probably just go like that, because then once you get up here, then you feel, and what I was telling you is you can kick up the kickstand, which is really easy, by the way. And you see it's got the suspension, but you know, I'm just like this big, not athletically skilled person, and I can sit here and balance without even moving. And it's weird because you'd think it'd be hard, but it's really kind of not. And then look, even barefoot, you can kick down the kickstand.
Yeah, I like the...
No problem, it's huge. It's not gonna chop your toes up, which is really handy actually.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like anybody is advocating riding barefoot, although, you know.
We're not your mother.
100% happen here. We're not saying you should do it. So you see this, once you get at a certain angle, you can't actually get the tool in. This is one thing I was a little bit concerned about. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, because once I'm vertical, it feels pretty good there. The throttle's in a totally dumb place then. You see, I gotta go at like a weird angle to get to the throttle.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if the throttle's gonna have to come off or move or rotate or pivot or what, but we're gonna do that right now. It's one thing we do on this channel is we show the adjustments as much as we can, unless it's just tedious or I made a big mistake and we have to redo something. Then we especially show it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just try torquing this down and you guys are gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. It is going to be extremely difficult to get in there to tighten those, so I'm just gonna tighten this set instead a little bit more. And what happens is, in turn, you actually, you know, basically tighten that. Now, I have a standard size set in the drawer up here, so why don't we see if my standard size set actually meshes up with it. My guess is, since we're 5 millimeters, we're probably gonna be like 3/16, so really dang close to it. Yeah, 3/16 will get the job done. That is if we have enough clearance, and we do. Yeah, so I'm gonna use a 3/16 wrench, just a Craftsman wrench. That's gonna work fine to actually go ahead and torque these down. But you can see what I'm talking about. You can't get in it because you've blocked your access. But for me, that seems like about the right angle. And I'm just gonna torque this down into a more permanent state. And yes, if you wanna use a metric tool, that's fine. There's nothing stopping you from doing that properly, but although I must say that actually fit pretty dang good. Had a little bit more play in it, so it was easier to get in and out, which is kind of nice. Sometimes the metric fit is just so dang tight. It's like, come on, man. Okay, so over here, we've got 4 screws. These screws actually allow you to pivot your throttle and your computer screen, and you've got this braking mechanism, which feels just glorious. But it's very thick, guys. Look at that. Very thick on the top portion. I kind of almost wonder if it would be something we could flip that upside down. Because I want to get this tipped around. I just don't think that's a bad spot for throttle, in my opinion. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to get to it. And, you know, like, look how weird that's going to be. So let's go ahead and go to a smaller size here. And again, this is preference stuff. It's not like right versus wrong. It is actually quite preference related. And if you guys want to take this to a bike shop to have somebody go through it, that's not a bad idea. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, I know how to do most of this stuff. I'm not really too super worried about it. That feels way better.
Just in terms of your reach.
I just kind of wish that this body was under here, because that body it takes up so much height. If it was on the bottom, then you would have thickness here instead of here, but you're still, I mean, you'd be able to really tighten that up some, because you're never going to be any closer than those two are. But I must say, and this is something I can say for all scooters that we've had, I still think it would be better to have a thumb control, because when you go to accelerate, it pulls you into the accelerator. So you get a strong oscillation because you just grab it a little bit. And of course, you work past that as you get more skilled, you know, as a driver or whatever. And, you know, so that kind of goes away with time. But just full disclosure, it is something you want to be careful about, because you're going to get on this thing and be like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Like, the acceleration is just phenomenal on these things. So, actually open up the garage door on Saturday. This is a Monday night we're filming. And I was so excited because I thought I saw this thing, and it turned out it was just another amazing airplane. So if you guys are watching this and thinking, why didn't you do that tonight, Brian? Well, it's a long story.
That box weighed a little bit less.
Yeah. And I was like, I hope that's not the scooter, because it's like 115 pounds lighter, 116, 17 pounds lighter. Okay, so now also just kind of in looking at this thing, now that we know that that sort of opens on a vertical axis, I have to assume that this is designed to go essentially right here, which is actually pretty sweet. My camera crew thinks that it's supposed to be on the front, but I'm like, why would you want that on the front? I feel like it goes here.
Does that have the logo on the outside?
It faces me. But like, why would you want it up here? Wouldn't that be like in your way? Plus you can't do it with this hoop-de-doo the way we've got it here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it probably doesn't matter.
I think it's probably worth getting in an argument over.
Should we pause or?
We've been married for a long time.
Yes.
So guys, if you're new to Brian Phillips RC and you're like, what the heck is this garbage? Then you'll understand this is just part of our reality.
Yeah.
We unbox stuff, we put it together. The camera crew is my wife of many years. She helps me film reluctantly. And then we get things built and we use them and show you if it's worth buying, or at least help you guys make a good decision, because after all, an informed decision is generally a better one. Unless of course it's super important, like your life is on the line, and then we'll let the government make it.
Right. Definitely.
Correct?
You should totally do that.
So in this case, speaking of the government and rules, this thing may not be legal everywhere, so just be aware. If it's not legal where you are, sucks to be you. pretty much.
Yeah.
You might want to check it out because I'm not a lawyer. Don't ask me legal questions because I don't know the answer. And I don't care to know the answer because I'm not a lawyer. And I don't even play one on YouTube. So if you do have legal questions about what your local municipalities and or state and or city or whatever it is, look it up, figure it out. I don't know. I don't even want to tell you because even if I told you, I wouldn't know.
Change.
It might change, exactly. You might be watching this in like 7 years and like it's illegal to go outside at that point again.
Probably.
If that's the case, again,
Just
sucks to be you.
get one anyway.
Get one anyway. I mean, obey the rules. Do that thing that they told you to. Wink, wink.
I think you should put all of those on there somewhat loosely and then tighten them down.
Are you suggesting that this could be incorrect, possibly?
Never.
Well, you know what we could do on this?
Pause while you strap things.
Or we could open the other protective device.
Oh, the people will be happy.
Why?
Because everybody always tells you you need one of those. And we haven't listened until somebody just...
No, we actually ran into an awesome choice.
Yeah, we did.
So guys, this video is supposed to not, it's supposed to not be, we're not supposed to steal the sunshine from this amazing bike, but I gotta say, well, you know, since you guys are so invigorated in that strapping,
Yeah.
I just wanna show you one other thing. This is gonna be a quick unbox too. What? Double unboxing, are you kidding me?
You wrote it on the side of the box.
Whoa, it's a helmet. The, could you just read that please for the people?
NITO.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm going with the X is silent.
Seriously, this is not Chinese.
Nope.
This is like Swedish or something.
Yeah, they have safety ratings for...
I want to show you guys something. I'm just gonna get the scale out. Don't worry, we're not cooking right now. We're making anything illegal. Sorry, folks. We'll go to grams. Check this out, guys. Oh, yeah, we got a helmet here. It's amazing. Now, this helmet does come with a bill style that you can put in, and it's great. This thing fits phenomenally. It's got magnetic detach, in and out, super easy, comfortable. And this, oh, wait, hold on, there's more. Strobe, solid, or fade in, fade out. Strobe, solid. So for here until the next 10 videos, I told them I'm just kidding, I didn't.
Wear the helmet every time.
Every time, with the light on.
Yes.
The whole time. Now, I haven't quite figured out this whole latching mechanism because it's magnetic, but it's supposed to be like super easy. And I really, really like this helmet because the thing is, first of all, it doesn't pinch my beard, which my other one does. Also, it's 100 times more comfortable and it fits. And you guys just wait there. If you have a pair of hearing protection like this is a 3M rated Pelter style. And I'm getting some right now that'll go behind the neck for a work application. I use these at work too. But the thing I'm excited about is that it leaves room here. And you're like, why are you worried about hearing protection? You're doing an electric scooter. Well, the reason I'm thinking it's sweet is because I do PPG too. And this thing is so light and so much less hot and so much more cooler looking. And look how light that thing is. Oh, shut up. Oh, you would scale.
Jeez.
Watch this.
Have a nicer scale.
374 grams or 13.2. It's not even a pound, folks. And that's gonna keep your noggin safe in hundreds of mile-an-hour crash. Just kidding, 28. 28 DOT approved. Does it say it there?
Actually, it doesn't. Because it's higher, because it's wherever they got their rating is like higher than what our stuff is rated here. But it's made for, yeah.
Speeds up to 28. So, I mean, it's better than nothing. I mean, seriously, because this thing will go supposedly 50 miles an hour. But I gotta say, your safety is their priority, guys. And they reached out to us and they're like, hey, do you want to review this helmet? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to review your stupid helmet. But then I got it and I'm like, wow, that thing's actually great. And you know what's nice is, you know, the light is just enough that you can get around in a dark environment, and then it's very easy to reach. It's very easy to shut off. The only thing I don't like is it's kind of hard to tell if it's on, okay? So now it's off. And USB-C, that's
Charging.
super fast. USB-C charging port, very simple to use, okay? And it charges, we already charged it. We did take it out of the box, we cheated. And
Well,
it
we had
does
to make
come,
sure it fit.
It does come with the USB-C.
Yeah.
So as you can see, nice big vents. And then look how sweet that's gonna look with this thing. It's just like futuristic and matches.
And they have a number of different styles. We just went with simple, like you just picked the
Yeah.
fight color or whatever.
So, I mean, you could do that to hold it. That's honestly, that's what I was thinking about when we saw that. So anyway, I mean, this thing can also be clipped just like anybody else that does their helmets. They can just clip it on. And let's show them up close real quick on the magnet.
Oh, okay.
So the magnet goes like that. It's very simple. It doesn't undo. It doesn't undo. It doesn't undo when it twists, and it just comes out. It's like weirdly easy to do and strangely intuitive. Like when I first saw it, I was like, I don't even know how to do that. And then I just put it on my head and I just, whoa, it's together. So very cool. Really happy with this helmet. And we'll link to this just like we link to, that's a class 3. So I don't know what that means. I suppose you could get a higher class, you know, if you wanted to get like a real motorcycle helmet. And I do actually have a motorcycle rated DOT helmet for PPG as well. But I found that I can't look straight up and see my lines, and that's kind of a big problem. So until I get a little better, I might have to use that. So anyway, all right, so getting back to the point and doing the really exciting stuff of playing with the
Oh,
straps.
see, now we're back to your strapping things on.
Yep, that's right. I promise that'll never be part of this channel.
Nope.
Okay? 100% guarantee
Not as long
it.
as I'm around.
Well, maybe if you,
Just when
maybe
you,
if you're not here, I'll
when you, oh, okay.
have new hobbies.
When you find out that you put that on the wrong side, then you're gonna have to restrap that all.
What are you talking about? Why would I find out it's wrong when it's the correct way? That's what I'm confused about. I mean, maybe it is in the wrong spot. That is one thing, guys. This is a real issue on scooters that I've learned from using our other competitive brand. Are we deep enough in the video? We can mention the competitive brand, the Varla. Excuse me. Didn't mean to say that out loud. It just slipped. It was like part of my cough. See what I did here? Amazing.
Little tabbies to
Little
stick
tabbies. That way they catch the wind and rattle and buzz.
Yep.
Drive
that'll
you
be
crazy.
perfect.
It's gonna be great. Can't wait to see how well it works.
And when
So-
you get to your location, you can take that off and you can just like strap it to your leg.
Oh crap, look at that. That zipper's all deflected. Maybe I should have zipped it first.
While it was strapped.
That looks weird.
You strapped it too hard.
I did, I really got it in there. Or maybe this is supposed to go all the way around. What do you think? Maybe, is that what's,
kind of long.
yeah, I
We-
mean, that's what she said.
Didn't look at a picture. So when you do it wrong, what? Was I supposed to acknowledge your hilarious joke?
I didn't hear any joke. I just heard factual data. So we're just gonna put this through here, guys. Here on Brian Phillips RC, we keep it family friendly all the time. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Especially on unboxes.
Yeah, for new
You don't
things.
ever dig into the nut and bolt sacks.
Did you zip it now before you?
No,
Shank it down?
No, I was just gonna loosen this side too. See, I wanted to go all the way around the top. See, I don't even know if that's right. See, this is a backup plan in case the 4 bolts fail.
Your strap.
You got 2 pieces of Velcro to hold your life on at 50 miles an hour with your class 3 helmet that'll protect you down at 28 miles
Maybe
an hour.
you should wear like elbow pads and knee pads.
Why would I need knee pads?
When you fall off.
Any other reasons? We're just gonna put this here. That, I think it's maybe, oh, there is 2 zippers. Okay, sweet. Hello, welcome to Brian Phillips RC. Looks pretty good. What's wrong with that? It does not look like maybe I did it right. So, show from over here where the driver's gonna be. It does feel like I might have been a little bit.
I was already wrong once this video, so it won't happen again. So
Okay.
I'm obviously correct.
And these people are like, just turn it on, Brian. Yeah. Okay, so the brakes work even when it's off. I'm just gonna scooter around inside the living room. Oh, by the way, this was off camera when it happened, but when we put it on the ground, it shook our house.
It did.
I mean, it was like, our house was like, what is wrong with you? Okay, so, oh man, that turns, ooh, what am I hitting? What am I hitting? That was not cool. Did you see that? Look at that.
What?
When I turn this, look, see this? Watch this. Boom. See, it catches. That is not so good. I wonder if I need to try to get that.
You need to move one of your straps around.
What? You mean like that? I don't know.
Where is it hitting?
It's hitting right here. I don't like that at all. Well, I mean, it might just wear in. This side, it gets to a pinch point too. What the heck? I'm gonna do this, guys, watch. I had kind of like extras up here. So I'm just gonna go right here. And I didn't have to install one mud flap. I hate installing mud flaps.
I know.
Why do these manufacturers not?
Just put the mud
just
flaps
put
on
the
for us.
stupid mud flaps on. They're always just such a pain in the butt. And the funny thing
It's
is,
like the flimsiest, junkiest thing too.
what? The mud
mud
flap?
flaps?
These mud flaps seem pretty
these are
nice,
really good.
actually. They're like heavy duty. Okay, so I like that. Okay, so let's turn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is that really the limit to my turn?
No.
Are you
See,
serious, Law?
but now you got your cable in there.
Dang it. There's the end stop, okay?
There you go. Oh, it's
So you want to see the end stop now? Look, it's right here. That's the end stop now. Boom. So you can't turn any sharper than that. Ooh, I'd really like to see a little bit more turn. But it is what it is, I guess, at this point. I don't really know what else to do on that. We may have to revisit that, I guess. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are wondering why we haven't ridden this thing yet, usually we do unbox build radio setup separate, but since this is you've already seen it.
Yeah,
we always do it at the beginning. We do that stuff we do the money shot at the beginning because that's what people come for.
And then if you want to stick around and listen to us chatter about nothing for an hour and 1 minute and 19 seconds,
listen,
now you're here.
If you're here for short videos,
Plus the 9
you're in the
minutes
wrong
before I
place.
pause. Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say. And we do apologize for how long they are. But
No, we don't.
yeah, we kind of don't. We don't really care how long they are. Okay, this tangle is just pissing me off. I just feel like all I'd have to do is undo all of this crap and totally disassemble it, and then I could untangle it. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. You're right.
Seems...
But look at this. I don't like this. See this? It catches every time. Plus, they left just enough of the zip tie out to slash me. They got like the provisional shank.
Yes.
Thanks for the shank. See that, guys? I don't like, see it? Ugh.
Isn't it just gonna like pop out of the way?
I don't really like to just think that things are gonna pop out of the way. I assume they're gonna pop right in where they're supposed to be. See that? Oh man, did you see that? Whoa!
See, you got all your...
No, now it's good. Now it's good. Okay, guys, mind your business when you're dealing with your wires. I'm deadly serious about this. You gotta make sure your wires are not gonna be a problem, okay? This is the way I'm gonna ride it all the time.
You should. Wait,
just
hold
like
on.
this.
It's like a little low rider scooter.
Yeah.
Where you can put your feet.
I can put my feet up. This thing is huge. Look how wide it is.
Yeah.
I wear size 13 boots. Of course, my feet are, whoa, where'd that come from? Did that come from up here?
Where? I don't know.
It did. I'm just joking. I know exactly where it came from. Maybe.
You don't.
It came from here.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, so yeah, I'm really excited to drive this thing. Let's see it turn on, okay? So first things first, brakes. Where's the ignition? How do you turn this stinking thing on?
Power.
Oh, power.
Oh,
Whoa!
holy.
Those are bright lights. Wow! I put my hand in front of it and I got blinded by the light. How about these ones?
Those are not on yet. Where's the button?
Where's the stupid power button? It's down. Oh, buddy, I did not know that. That is sweet. Okay, then there's a mode. I don't know what mode does. Oh, it changes your trip. Let's show them over here, camera crew. So it changes from odometer to channel something. 59.4. Time, 59.4. That better be. That's kilometers an hour. Wonder if I can press and hold and change it. Oh, there's your menu structure. Okay, so I'm gonna go out. Obviously, I want to change that. Okay, so then there's Eco and Turbo. Eco, Turbo, dual, single, light, on, off.
Wait, where was your light?
Right here.
Oh.
What? Light, on, flash, on, dim, flash, okay?
Holy.
What? It's an actual horn.
Our kids are gonna love that.
Hold on, what was that?
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's really loud.
That was really loud.
This one's gonna love that. Okay, so I kind of want to like just see what throttle feels like. Whoa. It wants to spin so bad, but I'm not gonna let it. Okay, so.
Hey, are you braking?
I am braking.
Okay, can you stop braking?
Why?
Yep, lights. I was just looking at red lights.
It's got a legit brake light instead of some stupid brake light. I love that it's just a normal brake light instead of some weird flashy, like I'm in an F1 car or something. Because once you get out on the road, like people are kind of like, what the heck is that thing? First of all,
right?
It's glowing blue. And why are these lights? Oh, that light is on. What the heck? Look, that light's on.
That light came on when you turned your other one.
Why is this one not on? Off, on.
Ooh,
is this even a light?
Yes, because it's on the other. Why would there only be one?
Yeah, what the heck is going on with that? Unless it's like, that is definitely a light.
Yeah, I mean, it's a light over here.
Okay, so then that's something I gotta figure out. Is there like a wire that's disconnected? Because that is something that you have to sometimes do on these things when you first get them. How did I turn on lights? Right
over there. That's just your headlights.
That's the headlights.
But I like the running lights just for visibility.
Yeah, but that's down here, guys.
Yeah.
So this turns on with right next to the charging port, okay? It's just a physical push button. And then there's 2 charging ports here, okay? But I don't know why that's not turning on. And that does definitely turn this one on. So I think there's probably something detached or broken, which would really tick me off because I want that light to work. But then also look, when you shut off the big light, see this? It blocks the forward-facing light, the steering does. It kind of gets in the way.
Oh, yeah, you're not driving with those lights. Those are just...
No, generally not. Okay, so here's the next thing I want to do. I want to take a quick second and I want to show people how to charge this thing. So let's go over here. It's very easy to get around. Okay, so we just put on the brakes. I like that you can have this turned because some of these things are so huge because they have a little bit more cant. So when you park this, it's very sturdy. That's nice. They're not all sturdy, believe me.
No.
Okay, so then this, we'll show you how this works. I do not know if it's gonna let us charge with the lights on. So we'll go ahead and plug this into a regular outlet. There's a green and a red light. So we'll take this down here. My suggestion is if you're charging this, charge it in the garage on a hard surface like concrete if you can, and then lay this on the concrete. It'll help dissipate the heat. And then if you would have, in the unlikely event you have something go wrong, you have a small fire or whatever, you're gonna at least have a better shot at success. Okay, so that kind of gets in the way. You can plug into either port. It's keyed. Okay, it goes to red. Do you see it? Goes to red. That's off. Okay, so now my next question becomes, let's see if we can figure out why those lights are off. And then also let's show the people right here. There is a set screw for mounting the headlights. You can actually turn that light on for the people. See this, guys? There's a through hole, a square hole, and then a slotted hole. So you can actually adjust where your lights are pointed. I love that you can do that. I kind of wish these were 2 different bodies. So you could have one pointed forward and so on and so forth. But this screw goes all the way through and it's actually threaded into the frame. So you can take this off and move it forward if you want to go just a little bit more forward. But it should be okay for what we're doing. Okay, so now this thing needs to charge for some time. It's at 59% according to this thing. And what I want to do next is I want to figure out, there is 4 buttons: Eco, Turbo, Single, and Dual. So if you're in Single, that means that you have one motor running, so it'd be rear wheel drive. And then if you go to Dual, it's going to run both. Eco means it's going to limit the speed. Turbo means it's not. And what's going to happen is you can't tell what condition you're in, okay? Just full disclosure, you need to know that, okay? Then this here, there's a power button, then there's a mode button, and then there's this thing. I don't even know what that thing does. That sets your speed. Looks like we have 3 speed settings. And then the mode, you have a timer, you have a trip odometer, you have an odometer, then you have a CHA, I don't know what the heck that is. And then you have volume. What the heck is volume? See, it says VOL. You guys see that? Volume? What the heck is volume? Okay, so kilometers an hour, that's gonna be a problem. Okay, so if you're reading this manual and you're like, I'm so confused, where is the USB port? The USB port's on this other style, okay? We have this on another competitive brand, and there is a USB port on that. This one's not the same, okay? This one is that, okay? So they don't talk about a USB port because there isn't one. On this one, if you were looking at it, it's right here. There's like a little rubber cover right there. It kind of dips down and it plugs in from the side. It's a USB-A connection. So what we need to do now is we need to set up some P settings. So we want to make sure we're looking at the right P settings, okay? So this is not the one you want. You want to go to this one. So just looking at this, I'm gonna point it so that there's no glossy edges. You're gonna have to pull back a little bit. There you go, stop. If you guys wanna pause it, you can see what the P settings are. Okay, we're gonna change that one because I wanna change it to miles per hour. So to access the P settings, make various adjustment changes, press mode for number 7, right there, for 2 to 3 seconds, okay? So first of all, it's gotta be on. So, yep, we can turn it on. You can see the numbers change to 63, that's good. Camera crew is gonna pull back just a little bit because I can't see the screen at the same time. So that's good, I'll just look at the computer screen. I'll look at what you're looking at.
Okay.
Okay, so what I wanna do is, go back just a little bit. Right there. To access the P settings, hold mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can see P0. Okay, then press gear button. That's a gear.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna do this again. See how it says 11 point whatever? It was at 11.2. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's the inches. Okay. So because I've hit it wrong, I have to keep going. Can I hold it? Yep, I can hold it. That's the diameter of the wheel. Go up higher. You're gonna have to change hands so you can get the angle right. Up more, way up.
Can't see the screen.
You're fine there. Oh, there's 5. Okay, so I'm just gonna go until it gets to 11. So forgive me for overlapping that, guys. So you can see basically this actuates the displayed value. So I want to get to 11, so I'm going to go real slow now. Okay, now mode gets you to the next P value. System voltage, don't care. Looks like P2 is 15. P3, speed signal detection, 0. And then this one is currently 0, so I want to change that to 1. Now it's in miles per hour. You got to go real close for him on this one. Sorry, the camera crew's shorter than me. Hey, look at that. So now we've got miles per hour. Amazing. Okay, so then really the regenerative brakes all the different settings that are on this, you can play with and see what meets your fancy. And I'm just gonna, cruise control is kind of weird when you're not used to it. You pull the trigger and it goes, okay? When you let go, it keeps going, right? So if you're driving along and you're going a long distance, cruise control is really nice because you don't want to have your hands on the controls. As soon as you brake or brake, it decouples that, and it's very obvious and intuitive. But the first time that it keeps going and you don't realize it's going, it's gonna scare the crap out of you. Okay, so the way you change that is you go into the same menu where we were, where we just changed this value, and you just go down here.
P6, cruise control.
And you just change that from 0 to 1, okay? So don't be surprised if it scares you to death. If it scares you to death, you were inherently surprised. Also, this battery has 2 charging ports. So I believe you can get a second charger and charge twice as quick. Now, here's some information. Don't forget the braking distance will be extended in wet weather.
Don't charge it near a fire.
Yeah, don't charge near a fire, folks. So we got to figure out how to get that light fixed. Did we see anything at all about the light? It could be actually a battery indication too. Because remember, we're only at like 60%. So we're probably just gonna have to hit these guys up and ask them about it.
That one says 80 kilometers per hour is maximum design speed.
For which one?
I don't know.
Well, let's go ahead and do the math and figure out what that is. I'll get another phone that isn't being filmed with. 80 kilometers an hour. Didn't they say 50 online?
Yeah, over here, this says max speed about 20 kilometers. So I don't know.
Oh, they must mean max distance. I wonder.
Oh, I don't know.
80 kilometers to hour is about 49.71 miles per hour, okay? So that is 50, okay? So 80 kilometers an hour would be scooting along pretty good. And I'm excited to be doing that. Now, another thing too, I'm gonna talk about right now while we're here. See this? That is metal. Nope, that's metal underneath, right? That's metal, that's plastic. I find that when you launch on these things, you need to put your foot on that and it will help you to not fall off the back. And you probably think I'm exaggerating, but I actually do that 100% of the time on my other scooter, and I use it a lot. I think I have like 170 miles on it already.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
It's like, I mean, we'd use it a lot. Just want to see if you're awake. So I am dying to get out there and drive this. And yes, this might be on the wrong side of things, but that is actually kind of a convenient spot. You could definitely put some cool things in there, which would be handy. So I'm excited about that. I also believe that they have offerings for different seats and things like that, don't they?
That might be.
So these are the types of things that you will check our link and you will follow the link. And if you decide you like this thing and you buy it from the link, then we get support back from these companies. So it's just like if you buy this beautiful J11 from FMS or this little 400 millimeter Warbird from Eachine, or if you buy that amazing helicopter from whatever the Chinese name of the company is. That thing is sweet, by the way. It'll fly upside down with one touch of the button. If you buy basically anything that we've reviewed on this channel, you buy it from the links, you'll be helping to support us financially. This thing is no exception. Now, this is a high dollar item and the commission rates are a little bit different everywhere. So it's not like we're gonna quit our jobs if you buy this, but it is helpful and every little bit helps. And we do appreciate it because really at the end of the day, we think that the best way to support us financially, if you wanna support what we do here at Brian Phillips RC, which is long format, no BS, all inclusive. I mean, we show all the mistakes we find. And sometimes we don't find a lot of mistakes until a little bit later. We try to remind you guys about things that we've run into over time. What we do is we bring you the full truth and nothing but the truth. So help us God, so that you guys can make a good decision, because this thing is expensive. And so is the last one we did, and so was the one before that, and so was the ones before that. And we actually really like them, and they're super fun. I am admittedly disappointed that I have on-road tires. I will be driving this off-road. So my understanding is we are gonna get off-road tires. I do not wanna put tires on this thing. I have to imagine it's gonna be a humongous, huge pain in the butt. So I could be mistaken, but the on-road tires are gonna be good when we're on-road. It's just not gonna be so good when we're off-road. They look like they're nice tires. The other thing too is don't forget to check the actual pressure with the pressure gauge, which we do have, and we reviewed them with kittens. So if you guys want to see that video, what you'll do is just go to the non-airplane playlist. Yes, it is a non-airplane playlist on Brian Phillips RC, and you can check out the shameless advertising when we had small, cute kittens. This is before they tore apart and procreated like Jerry Springer episodes with each other and made 11 cats out of 3. But they were super cute then.
They were.
And anyway, so what happens is if you guys order these things, you help support us financially. If you decide you want to do Patreon or PayPal, we have those options as well opened. But we still think the better option is just like when you see a sweet thing, buy the thing, because then that helps us to build rapport with these different manufacturers, vendors, hobby shops, distributors, and mom and pop shops, brick and mortar. All the different companies that we've worked with over the years have been sending these things so that we can review them for you, because really at the end of the day, the things that we enjoy, the things that are cool to us, we review. So it's not like we just get garbage and then we're like, hey, let's review this thing. No, they ask us, we say yes, they send it, and we don't say anything, we just don't do it. So we only do the stuff that interests us. And sometimes we do planes that are a little bit duddish. Sometimes we do scooters that maybe aren't what we hoped for. But at the end of the day, you guys get to decide whether or not you think it's gonna meet your needs. And some people aren't into spending $2,000 on a toy. Some people are more about spending $100 on a toy. You know, it just depends on what your needs are, and we're here to help facilitate that on Brian Phillips RC. And we hope that you guys see that from not only the quantity, because we go for more quantity than quality here at Brian Phillips RC. You guys will be able to see the quality that does come out of it. There are morsels, I promise. This thing here is gonna be a blast. We hope you guys enjoyed this unbox. It's just kind of something that Megan and I do, and she loves doing. And I think that thing's gonna go up and down stairs better than our other ones. Because look at the ground clearance. That thing is so high up. I just noticed that. Look at this.
Oh, good.
That's great, actually. So now I can go upstairs, maybe. So guys, at the end of the day, we wouldn't be doing this channel if you didn't keep coming back, if you weren't supporting us. And so a special thanks to our Patreons that are supporting us right now. You know who you are. And we really do appreciate you guys being part of our lives. And the people that throw us a few bucks here and there on PayPal, it blows us away. The people that are supporting us, it's really cool. And then every once in a while, somebody figures out a way to send us a check in the mail and stuff like that, which is super cool and super nice. Or maybe even like a gift card for a restaurant, which we never ask for that stuff. Really, all we ask you to do is smash the like button, click the bell for notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already, and then buy stuff that you like when you like it. But if you guys need an outlet to help support us, those things are open up. We very reluctantly added that in to our repertoire when? Like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago?
A year and a half ago, yeah.
So we already feel really well supported by the very vast majority of our audience on YouTube is amazing. And then we still have a few hecklers here and there, and we crush them as soon as we can.
Yes.
Because they're impossible. But if you're that person, bye. Anyway, for the rest of you, thanks so much for being here. And we hope you can just outpace the hecklers, because there's a few of them out there. And camera crew, do you have any thoughts about this other than hoping that I survive?
Yeah, that would probably be good.
Yeah, it looks big enough that we could both stand on there too.
Oh, good. No.
Yeah. Oh, and then one other big thing, guys, 150 kilos. That means that I'm still within the weight range. I was gonna say well within the weight range, but it's getting increasingly bad. So if you're a little dude and you're like 120 pounds, soaking wet, this thing is going to move you quicker than it will move me. Full disclosure. I just want to say that when I review stuff, I'm a big guy. A lot of the stuff is made in China. They say it's in China. They say it's 150 kilos capacity, but the Chinese lie and they don't always tell the truth. And we are here, we are the truth detectors. We're gonna tell you, if I get up there and it breaks in half, then you'll know that it doesn't actually hold 330 pounds, because I'm not quite there yet. But if you guys keep sending me barbecue gift cards, then I might actually exceed that. So then what are we supposed to review then? Airplanes?
Maybe he's trying to get us to not do any more e-bikes.
That could be. You guys have mentioned that you're not a big fan of the e-bikes. But that's okay, because I see everybody else doing it, and that's what you do on YouTube. Isn't that what your parents taught you too? Like if your friends jump off the bridge, you're going to jump off the bridge. Too. Well, obviously if they're bungee jumping.
No, still no.
I mean, if your friends strapped a giant fan to their back and launched a parachute and then flew away, would you do it?
Nope.
Absolutely, I would.
Still no. We go skydiving.
Really? When did you decide?
Before I go bungee jumping.
Well, I'm not going to bungee jump either. But I mean, if your friends were doing it, would you do it?
No.
Oh, good. So your parents taught you better, evidently. All right, guys, that's all you get for tonight. This is going to be super cool from Kaabo, but not San Lucas. Kaabo.
Kaabo.
Kaabo?
Kaabo.
Kaabo.
Yes.
Kaabo, San Lucas. No, not that. Just Kaabo.
Somebody should send us a gift card for there.
Yeah, please do. Okay, so guys, this is gonna be super cool. And guys, seriously, don't forget, check your tire pressure. I did have to put some pressure into the last one I got, and I didn't recognize it at first because it just doesn't seem like you would need it. But if you're, have somebody watch you, if you see deflection in the wheels, you probably need to add some pressure. So we'll get that done off camera because it's not really rocket science. And maybe we'll catch a clip in the dark before it gets bright, because it's obviously, we're not gonna go out here and go 50 miles an hour in the dark. We might do it after we get used to it, to be honest, because those lights look really bright and effective.
But so maybe not the first time.
But maybe not the first time, just, less chance of death and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also guys, if you wanna hear more about this helmet, we'll obviously be doing it in the unbox from XNITO. Oh, I don't know. XNITO, like XNITO.
I think NITO works.
Yeah, anyway. NITO. You're pretty sure it's NITO.com.
There'll be a link for that.
There'll be a link for this too. And same thing, just like everything else, they support us if you buy them. So anytime we do that, we appreciate it. And to be honest with you, I really like this helmet. The helmet that I got for PPG was just a run-of-the-mill bicycle helmet. This thing probably weighs half as much.
I think.
And it has lights. It might be less than half as much. And also, it hurts my head.
Your other one.
This thing is very comfortable compared to that. And I don't know, it's just, it doesn't seem that much different, but they've evidently engineered it. Instead of to like a fake dummy's head, they actually put a human in there. And they were like, does it hurt? And the human was like, yes, shave this part off. And so when they gave them this thing and it went onto their head, and then they turned this thing to tighten it, it's comfortable. It actually doesn't hurt, because that one like poked my temples right there.
And they have different sizes too. You have to measure your head circumference, but then it's adjustable with the little back thingy. And
the thing is, it doesn't pinch my beard, which
happy for you.
I know, should be. See, safety first.
Yeah.
But seriously guys, it's way more comfortable than anything I've had before. And I cannot wait to be cruising down the road with this thing from Kaabo, San Lucas. Thanks for watching, guys. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. Come back. Okay, so I cannot resist literally doing this. The camera crews try to talk me out of it. We got a light on. Look how lame the little lights are going forward. There's like almost nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you definitely need this. Show them out there. On, off, on, low beam, flash, and then on high beam, low beam. You got to hold still so they can see the difference. Low beam, flash, high beam, low beam, flash, high beam, okay? So I'm in speed mode 3. We have 61% power, so the thing's not fully, locked in. We have braking, the lights work, so you can have all sorts of good stuff. The kickstand seems to work really good. I am noticing that the ABS is vibrating like you'll hear it probably from my mic, and we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to do a couple of quick laps so you can see it in the dark. I'm not going to go crazy, but that's pretty much like not crazy. Holy crap. It's burning out, guys. Holy jeez. Really easy to drive. It's really fast. I like it a lot. The ABS is weird.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Well, it sounds weird. I don't know if they'll be able to hear it, but I can hear it. Yeah.
It's very strange. And by the way, I'm going to see if I can go into eco and single. Oh, that's single. Oh, that's eco and single. It's way more tame. Good visibility with the light. It's really easy to control.
That looks way less intense.
You can see where I kicked in the two-wheel drive. It just has so much more juice. I'm just not sure if I like the ABS yet. And I can't tell if I'm in eco or turbo. Well, that's pretty fast. It's really easy to see around. This light works so much better than any light we've had on any of these before. And look, you can go, show them out there on the trees. See the trees? You can go up and down with it, which is super handy.
That's really
and
nice.
you can go left and right, which is really nice, guys. One of the biggest problems we've had on these bikes or scooters is that the light is very directional. Now this one is not directional, but is definitely
more useful.
Look how high you can point it. I can go higher. I can keep going up.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy, guys. So if you want to see the reflectors, you could really get this thing dialed in. That's super nice to be able to see better.
That far.
Yeah. And it's definitely punchy, but again, I still am struggling to figure out if I'm in dual or single dual or single wheel mode, and then eco or turbo. It's eco or turbo is the one that I'm having trouble. Dual or single is very easy to tell, okay? Because you can feel it. It's just like an immediate jump. So I'm gonna try again. Jeez, that's definitely in dual.
Okay, so he went all the way up the hill. You can see him coming back. That light is really bright. There's the horn, so that's helpful. You can definitely hear the ABS, so we'll see if he gets used to that, if he likes it.
Really fast.
We'll see if he got a max speed that time. How fast?
44 miles an hour going downhill on the way back. I wasn't pushing it. On the way up there, I was going 37. There's tears of joy coming from my face, as you can see right here. And you can see fantastically with this light. I'm sure you would blind oncoming traffic.
It's bright.
So you might need to shut it off if a car comes and then turn it back on, but then you're gonna be low. And then if you really wanna get somebody's attention, you go to the flash. But I can tell you this, I can see better on this. Now, is this on?
Yes, turn it off though, because you're killing me.
Okay, so
There
that's off. So one thing I can definitely say, guys, is the horn is loud and audible. Okay, so if you think about safety features on any vehicle, I don't care how fast or slow you're going, if you have a horn that's loud and audible, and then you have lights, okay, and then you have, you know, lights, and then you have more lights, and you have actual brake lights. And by the way, I was out there braking hard from 44 miles an hour down to, you know, enough to make the turn very comfortably, and it felt good. And I can tell you, this suspension is stiff. It is very stiff. It's not like the Varla, excuse me, I wasn't supposed to mention that, but it's just way more stiff, and it could be just a function of not being broken in yet, but it definitely moves, but it's so much heavier. When I come up over a bump, I just don't feel it want to get off of the ground. But there is so much torque that it's almost impossible not to spin the front wheel, okay? So also it feels really stiff in this axis now, but I know from experience that breaks in on that main bearing. So as a matter of fact, that will soften over time. And also there's a stop here, okay? I've noticed it on some, that stop sort of wears down. Well, not on this one because it's physically hitting itself. The frame is there. It's never gonna turn sharper than that. Some of them will turn even sharper after you've sort of broken the tooth that's inside of the turning mechanism. So very happy with it so far. Obviously it's dark. We're gonna be doing footage in the bright, and we're gonna be doing some footage from a chest rig so you can see the screen and the speed. And we're only at 54% battery. I'm gonna do one more quick pass and we'll be right back. You guys come along, and I don't know when I'm gonna lose audio, so I'm trying to be kind of careful about that. Also, my foot on the back, like I said, is very helpful. Holy cow, that thing just launches. As you can see, it's got enough torque to pivot me in the air. That is amazing. Here's a big bump. Is it frozen?
Yeah, enough.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to be doing that. It's soft. So we had rain, or I would go off, but I can see that already squished a little route.
Oh.
So I'm just going to push this back. One of the best things about running an e-scooter or an e-bike is that it's a lot of the fun of a motorcycle without all of the real hassle of licensing and the real hassle. And I'm not just talking about licensing the vehicle, I'm talking about licensing you. I mean, you have to actually go get a permit, and then you got to go through training school, and you got to pass and get your driver's license endorsement in our area. This thing doesn't need that, and so it's really nice in that regard. It's also capable of being broken down and put into a car trunk. You can't do that with a big motorcycle, but you're getting a lot of fun out of it with something like this. Now, one big thing I gotta say is I think this thing is gonna perform a lot better on road than it does off-road, because as you can see, we have on-road tires. And yes, there are off-road options available. I would highly recommend that you put them on at the company. Don't necessarily just do it yourself, but I am super excited to see what kind of performance we do get out in the grass. But it's kind of soft right now, and I think we're gonna dig in too much. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, well, that was weird. Did I shut that off? The light just shut off. Did I unplug it somehow? Because look,
Yeah.
I didn't turn
You're
it off.
off.
Oh,
It timed out.
Oh, the whole thing shut off. So I'm gonna turn it back
Timed out.
on,
Yep.
and there's
Back
the
on.
light.
Yep.
I also noticed that it keeps the speed setting from the previous power cycle, and that is a super big advantage to me, because that's one thing I don't like about the competitive offering. It always goes back to speed 1, okay? Now, if you're gonna be driving in speed 1, it might be nice to have it in speed 1, but I'm gonna tell you this, if you're like me, you're gonna drive it in speed 3 all the time. You're gonna get the torque to where your body shifts and you control getting that power to the ground. But it takes time to learn those things, and you don't do it on an Unbox build radio setup. You do it in a few weeks when you've had a chance to play with it for a while. So extremely excited to get out there and drive this thing some more. It's actually cold right now. I've got my handy dandy nitro gloves on right now, and I've got a coat on, and I've got my sandals, of course, because why would you not wear sandals when you're going 44 miles an hour in the dark where a deer could jump out? Now I can do this. My neighbors probably love us already.
Yeah.
So anyway, I should not honk the horn like that right now. But the other thing is the ABS is weird. I'm gonna have to get used to that. It's every time I brake. I'm sure you guys can hear it, because I can definitely hear it. I can definitely feel it. And I'm not sure if I like it yet. I gotta get myself in conditions where I'm going very fast and stopping quick to see what type of influence that's gonna have over my overall handling characteristics. Also, we have sand on the road right now because we have had snow within 2 weeks. So just something to consider. Super excited to get out and use this thing. Did you hear that noise?
Yes, it's so windy. It's like whistling through there.
It's whistling through the frame of the bike. That's crazy. Oh, and then also one other thing. I just want to show you guys this because I thought it was really cool. And look at this. I don't know if I could walk up the stairs under power, but I know I can walk down the stairs. Oh, it's so heavy. I want to see if I can do it. I'm going to do it real careful. Oh yeah, see, that's the problem, is that you'll burn out. You see I made a mark? You can roll up and down our stairs and you don't hit the bottom. Look how much clearance there is, guys. But it doesn't feel tipsy. When I stand on here, I feel basically sturdy. Now, as you can see, I jumped off because there's no reason to balance up here. I'm not like some trapeze artist. But the truth is, once you're out there, I got my foot on there. I got tons of room. I got plenty of room back here. I don't feel unsafe. It's surprisingly not scary once you get tame the extreme acceleration. And then it's just like riding anything else. But I gotta say, very easy to see in the dark. I don't know how this is gonna do in the sunlight. I think this is gonna wash out and look like an LED screen. Or not an LED, but an LCD. My apologies, a liquid crystal display is what it's gonna look like. I don't know if that's the technology they've used, but I'm just gonna go with, this might be what they call TN display as opposed to an IBN display, which is used in the automotive industry. So it's not the same as an LCD. It doesn't look like an LCD because I think if this was getting cold, it would actually slow down. That's how you can tell the difference. And then look at this. We have an exclamation point. That doesn't mean that you have like some sort of a problem. That means that you're braking. I let go, it stops. That's the regenerative brakes. And it indicates that that is active and accomplishing regeneration, okay? So you can actually watch your percentages go up under heavy braking. So it's really cool, guys. We've got it set to miles per hour. It's very easy to read. Obviously, even in the cold, it's doing great. I think it would do fine in snow, but I wouldn't want to use these tires. Right. I would want to use the off-road tires. So any other thoughts other than you don't want me to get killed on it?
Oh, I was just going to say I'm cold.
You'll notice that I have a helmet on.
That's great.
Is the light on?
No. No, but leave it off because you're killing my exposure.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we wanted some dark shots, so maybe that's all the more you're going to get for dark. But at the end of the day, we're going to have some day shots. Don't you worry. The unbox was super long and tedious because I blabbed too much, and so I apologize for that. Help support us. Buy these things from the links when you do buy. Make sure you follow our links on stuff like this. It really helps. A lot of times we get a lot of traffic going to see how much there are, and then people literally fall out of their chair. Once they've dragged themselves back up to the chair, then they realize, holy cow, I'm going to go buy like 6 other planes. And that's cool, and we get that. Guys, this is something I love doing. It's really fun. I think you're going to enjoy it too. And if you like flying airplanes like I do, this is right up our alley. It's electric, it's really fast, it's fun. It's going to be, you know, relatively safe. It's only as safe as you make it, obviously, just like everything else in life. But the thing is, I think you're going to really enjoy it. Oh, and yes, you can shut off these lights if you don't like them. All you have to do is press one button. It does not impact your actual lights on the vehicle, okay? So it's a separate component. It's down here, and it runs like that. Super easy. I'm going to get this thing fully charged. And by the way, full disclosure, these things do tend to be a little bit more juicier and faster when you first start running, okay? So I haven't even seen it at 100% battery charge. So that is going to be something else, and we hope you guys will be here to see it, and we hope you enjoyed our footage. Come back for more. I'm Brian Phillips, RC. All right, guys, so we're out in the garage. Unlike usual, I have identified how to take off the cover thing so that I can figure out what's going on with this right side light of ours. Didn't work. Now, yours will probably work fine, but as you can see here, I figured out how to take this off, and this is one of the biggest pains in the butt is when you get these things, is when you have a problem like this. It's real hard to figure out because they've covered up access to the screws, okay? Now, I understand why they do that, because they don't want people burning down their houses with this really small battery.
Right.
So seriously, be careful. If you don't know what you're doing, just hire somebody to do this. But the thing is, that light is not working, and I'm just gonna show you what I figured out, okay? So no, we didn't get any manual. No, we didn't get any real support on this. This is just one of those things that's supposed to be easy to fix. So you guys can make up your own mind if it's easy to fix, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts, and they look like this. They're short, and I only use the provided tool. There's one here that's gonna trick you, okay? These ones are somewhat obvious, except it's not, because they've glued this light strip down here, and so it blocks any sort of visible sign that there's a screw coming through.
Oh.
So it looks like it's welded and possibly bolted from below. I had this wire was squished here. And it's kind of hard to tell because it's sort of relaxed ever since I opened it here, which is about 10 minutes ago. And I just used the provided tool. This actually is the one that came with our other competitive brand, but it's the exact same tool, as you can see, literally the exact same tool, okay? Ironically, the size I needed from another brand, it didn't even have the right size shape. It's not even a hexagon, it's not hexagonal.
Oh.
So it won't fit into the tool. So we'll use that later on another project.
Sure.
So we've got all these screwed, and I just want to show you over here. Right here, we've got the LED exposed, okay? So you can see that it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LEDs in there, and a red and blue wire, silicone dipped, and then there's a silicone seal on the back, and then there's this screw, which has to be relieved. I think it's the next size down. That has to be backed off, yep. So all I've used so far is these 2 sizes, okay? So it's been pretty easy, and then that just allows me to pull it off. This one was the worst screw to do, and you don't even have to. If you can show them right up in here, this wire kind of passes in to the inside of this, and I thought maybe I would have to do this, but I don't, okay? So I'm just gonna pull this screw out. That's the even smaller one. Now that was the biggest pain of all of them, okay? And that was just to get access to this cover here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I didn't ultimately need in there. I just wanted to show you that I had done that. I also, in my first attempt, was pulling this off, and then the other 2 over there. So now as you can see, this light's definitely not on. This one over here is definitely on, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So we know that the circuit is working. It's just one light's not turning on. So all I have to do now is find the red and blue wire up here, okay? So if you guys come around to the other side, you might be able to get a good shot. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to screw with this gigantic, really expensive battery unless you have to. Be very careful. Anytime you see a tape joint like this, just be wary, okay? Now these controllers, which are under here, and they have a heat sink on them, it's a considerable sized heat sink. You know, anytime you see that and you see all this wire clumped in here, it just makes me cringe. But at the same time, this is why we do reviews on Brian Phillips RC. It's not because everything is clean and perfect, and we show it the way it is. So hopefully, you know, this will be a learning experience for whoever we work with. These are big silicone, nice cables. But the thing is, this was squished along the battery. So I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad I relieved the pressure. And it's possible that that is the only problem with this light. Remember, this light is blue and red. So I'm looking for a combination of blue and red anywhere. And I haven't found it yet, but I'm sure I probably will find it right there, guys. See? I literally just found this, and watch. As soon as I plug it in, poof, smoke. Just kidding. It's on.
Nice.
So now all I have to do is slide this back into the cavity, and Kaabo had suggested that we get into the accessible covers to fix this. Now, some of you at home are probably cringing and thinking, that thing's that much and you had to get in there to the accessible cover and fix it? Yeah, stuff like this does happen. In fact, we review this stuff, and my brother got a bike that we had reviewed recently from a competitive brand, and they had a problem like that too. We didn't have any problems. We show what we run into.
Yep.
But fortunately for them, I do stuff like this all the time, so I helped them figure it out, and it was like a literal
Similar
5-second thing.
Yep.
And you just, you know, there are connectors and they come undone once in a while, and it's annoying. And I'm sure these guys would be embarrassed that that happened, and they would love to be able to undo it. But I'm not gonna beat them up over it because that's all it was. Now I can shut this off. As you can see, it's on and off. There's no problem there. But now the added benefit of having gotten in here is I can show you this beautiful LG battery and this beautiful neoprene gasket here. Now, why is it good that I can show you this battery? A, we can prove that it's at least they've attempted to say it's an LG battery, okay? Now, a lot of these guys are using LG batteries, and a lot of them want to be using LG batteries. It's possible that the non-knockoff brands are using an actual LG battery, and it's possible that the crappy brands are also using LG batteries. I don't know, but that is an English printed tag.
Yeah.
It's all in English. That's usually a good sign. If it's a knockoff brand, they're not going to go through the trouble in an inaccessible area to show
And
an
to
English
have
printed
all
label.
of the, I mean, everything
This
kind
is
of
specced
matches
out,
up.
and also look how flat it is. That's really good. By the way, I have cheated and ridden this thing more than once, and it's awesome. And I can't wait to share it. And hopefully you guys are seeing this in this order at the very end. But I'm just gonna very carefully tuck this back in, and I wanna make sure these things don't short out. And in fact, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna tape that stuff over with black electrical tape, because why would you not if you have access to it?
What are those little pins?
Those pins are for different European models generally.
Oh.
And what they do is they allow for different technologies to be enabled. Like for instance, sometimes you have a flashing taillight, sometimes you have a solid taillight. And I'm just gonna put tape over them. I'm gonna do nothing fancy at all, okay? And for your information, guys, I work as an industrial scale technician. I work with electronics for a living. I've been doing it for a long time. I know my way around electronics. And if you don't, and you're even remotely concerned about this, don't worry. You shouldn't do it then. Just have somebody help you that knows what they're doing. A bike shop would be a great place to look into if you ever do have to fix something like this, or an electronics supplier might be able to help you out. But generally speaking, these videos on YouTube are how most people fix their problems. And that's okay with me too, because obviously we're YouTubers and we want you guys to watch our content. But that being said, I just want to point out one thing. If you make a mistake doing this and you burn your house down, I don't want you to think that I can make that right to you. I cannot unburn your house down, so please be careful. These batteries are about, you know, aside from going 50 miles an hour down the road, it's the second most dangerous thing on this, okay? But honestly, that was pretty easy stuff, guys. And as you can see, all I'm doing is just kind of cleaning up stuff. And you guys know from watching Brian Phillips RC that I know my way around electronics. But if you need to get in here and check something out, that's fine. Just be careful. You're not doing it with my blessing. You're not doing it with anybody else's blessing. You're just doing it on your own for your own reasons. And I just want to point out one other thing I just noticed is that this nut, there is a nut in here. See that nut? I'm going to have to torque that on.
It does not look like there's one on the other.
Which means there's a nut down there. So I'm going to fix that now too, because when I pulled that screw out, it did come out, but it came out and then the nut dropped down here. So because that had nothing to do with it, you now know what screws to undo. And yes, you do have to peel this back. It's not like it's just back when you get it. You have to actually peel that back. Mine had a little bit of adhesive missing. So my fear is now that's always gonna look like crap. So I'll have to take some China glue, and put it down, okay? But I don't hope to get in here anytime soon.
Right.
I just as soon have access to it, because why not? You know, if there's a serviceable part in there, like a battery that could go bad, I'd like to have access. So we'll button this up. If we run into any new problems or different problems, we will fill you in on the loop. But for now, I'm just gonna get my nuts out of this dark hole, and I'm gonna have the camera crew help me hold them while I screw things in.